fuck shit up, we're gonna tear it down, we're gonna tear it up, we're gonna blow it out, we're gonna blow it up, we're gonna knock it down, we're gonna knock it in, we're gonna knock it out, we're gonna take it on, we're gonna take it down, we're gonna smash it up, we're gonna crash it down, we're gonna drive it fast, we're gonna play it loud, we're gonna fuck it up, we're gonna do it now, we're gonna push it back, then we'll push it out, we're gonna turn it on, we're gonna turn it out, we're gonna light it up and set the world on fire, and everybody's gonna be a light. We're gonna light it up and set the world on fire, but everybody's gonna be alright. Come on, come on, come on, throw a little dynamite. Come on, come on, come on, throw a little dynamite. It's gonna be alright. Let's watch a fucker burn. 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 Riot hard, we're gonna riot long, we're gonna get in tune, we're gonna play our songs, we're gonna thrash around, we're gonna trash it all, we're gonna throw it down, we're gonna power on, we're gonna soldier through, we're gonna throw it off, we're gonna burn it up, we're gonna burn it down, we're gonna get outside, we're gonna get around, we're gonna build it up, then we'll break it down, we're gonna shatter glass, we're gonna shatter sound, we're gonna rage and rage, we're gonna scream and shout, we're gonna light it up and set the world on fire, and everybody's gonna be a light. We're gonna light it up and set the world on fire, but everybody's gonna be alright. Come on, come on, come on, throw a little dynamite. Come on, come on, come on, throw a little dynamite. It's gonna be alright. Let's watch a fucker burn. 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 It's notice sound, everyone get down. It's rock and roll, it owns your soul. It makes you move to the beat and groove. Makes you shake your butt, can't get enough. When the rock and roll explode, where casualties come dance with me. It's made of fire, an electric wire, touch to your spine. The beat unwinds, the bass it booms throughout the room. Everyone gets down to the oldest sound. When the rock and roll explode, where casualties come dance with me. And it goes doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom 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 dooby doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom 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 dooby doom explode. From coast to coast, the sound explodes. It's everywhere. It's in your head. It's on your hands. It's in your pants. It's on your tongue. It's in your lungs. When the rock and roll explode, where casualties come dance with me. And it goes doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom 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 dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom 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 explode. And it lights us up, oh we glow. A billion glowing souls the music holds. And we turn on, or we glow. A million billion stars shine on, shine bold. We all feel the beat, our feet are dancing on. It's an oldie sound, everyone get down. It's rock and roll, it owns your soul. It makes you move to the beat and groove, makes you shake your butt, can't get enough. When the rock and roll explode, where casualties come dance with me. And it goes doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom 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 dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom doom dicka doom dicka doom dicka dicka doom 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 explode. Mother says that we should stick together. When we're together, everyone lives better lives. Everyone survives. Mother says that we should do much better. We should endeavor to never tell a lie. It's tough enough, alright, but we know we will never get it right. It's too much, it's too hard, and we're too tired, so we don't even try. And we know that we're letting others down, but we don't even see them in the crowd as they fall down and out. Mother says that we should love each other, brother, sister, and every single soul. Everyone we know. Mother says that we should help each other to discover new ways of letting go of the pain we hold. But we know we will never get it right. It's too much, it's too hard, and we're too tired, so we don't even try. And we know that we're letting others down, but we don't even see them in the crowd as they fall down and out. Instead we live to hurt and punish all our enemies, pushing pay like pills, and pills are made to deaden me. Everyone is scratching, scrambling.
All right, hey everybody. So we're gonna try something different. So my voice is in pretty rough shape. But I still wanted to stream, and I was figuring we'd just hang out. And so I was thinking that so I was thinking we would do a like a Dear Abby kind of thing, but with me, Mike TV, a person that has led a very storied life, and I might have a unique perspective on things. So I was thinking if you guys bring me whatever troubles you at the moment, then maybe we can figure out. If we can't figure out a way to get how to move past it, we'll at least figure out a way to make it laughable. Make it something we can have fun with it. Yeah, amen, Lena. I think so too. I think so. And I'm also, so I just made myself my first cocktail of the night. So what I've been doing is I've been putting 3 ounces of vodka in this and then filling it all the way to the top with water. So that way I'm properly hydrating myself while I'm also drinking. So yeah. Hey Ian, how you doing, man? Good to see you. That's exactly it. So the thing is, so I get so it's basically 2 drinks. So it's a double, but with a 29 ounces of water on top of that. So yeah, I know, Ian, but yeah, I'm not gonna get shit faced drunk. I have been shit faced drunk on this stream before. That's not my intention tonight. Like, yeah, I'm kind of done with the getting shit faced for the time being, at least anyway. But just to start off, so how's everybody doing? What's going on? Like, so it's really funny. My Austin, Texas, which we've had very, very low COVID numbers, and the reason why is because we literally like on the second week, once we realized that the COVID was migrating. Like once we realized, oh shit, it's in Washington and it's in New York and it's in California and it's in Oregon, we just locked down, and we were all very, very careful about and literally for the first 3 weeks of the whole COVID lockdown, I would walk the streets and I literally felt like it was like the zombie apocalypse. I'm like, oh my God, there's not this is what it would be like if the entire world was dead. There was not a single person around. It was just me and Sue, But fast forward another 5 weeks after that, and suddenly it seems like no one gives a fuck. Like there's it's funny because there's people they'll see a group of people walking towards me, and so I'll move a little bit over, assuming that they'll move a little bit over, and they don't move over. So I start coughing. I thinking I'm gonna pretend that I might have COVID. You guys might want to think to get the fuck away, and they give no fucks. They just give no fucks. They're either they are not completely not aware and not paying attention at all, or they just give no fucks. I'm assuming it's the latter, So I was like, all right, well, that's you guys are fucking in for a real treat when COVID does bite Austin in the ass, because people give no fucks. It's still pretty stupid here in North Carolina, and we're keeping that's like, anyway, whatever. Like I know that the political will on the right is and of course our billionaire overlords, the oligarchs that literally run this country, except unless you're like Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and people that actually deal with internet stuff, they're making a killing. But like the Waltons of Walmart, like I'm certain that they just want people to get back to fuck to work. So I'm 100% certain that You've been laughed at. Yeah, I know. And it's such bullshit. It's such bullshit, right? Because you're not wearing a mask for your own safety. You're wearing a mask for their safety. Like that's the thing. It's like, I am wearing this for you motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my face. Like things and I do find here in Mexico City, and that's crazy, Ian, because you have 26 million people living on top of each other. 26 million. Is there a larger, maybe in India, there might be, what is, does anybody know the most populated city? That's awesome, Rob Talk. Good to see you, brother. Does anybody know the most populated city in the United States? I can look that up. I have the entire world's repository of knowledge right at my fingertips. Most populated city in the world is, dun, 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 Tokyo. Oh, Tokyo with 37.4 million. Motherfucker, 37 point. Mexico City's number 5 with 26 million. That's crazy. So yeah, so things like, so fuck, dude, that's crazy. Hi, can I get my, I fucking hate clickbait shit. Yeah. Tokyo, and I think Shanghai is like number 3. So, I think Delhi was number 2. So, hey, Lily Maid Asled, how you doing? Good to see you. So I'm not. So for those of you that are just tuning in, I'm not doing a music stream. My voice is a little bit haggard. I don't want to push it, but we are doing. And so I'm going to do a Dear Mike. So I did this once quite a while ago, where people just kind of like just showed up and were like, hey, Mike, I have an issue with this. And then I would be like, all right, let's figure this out. And then we would all of us discuss possible avenues of recourse, Funny how the peeps that won't wear masks because it will protect them and others need to have a gun at the grocery. That's exactly right. That's Mike Martha. That's or Dear. Well, because we have Dear Abby. That was Dear Abby was the big one when I was a kid growing up. And my mom, I think my mom read Dear Abby. I just remember seeing it like in the paper, like folded to Dear Abby, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe it wasn't my mom. So at any point in time, if anybody, like, so we'll just keep talking about COVID for the moment, but if at any point in time, if anybody wants to throw out some postulate, and again, if you're dealing with anything, let's just see if we can figure it out. You know, like if there's anything that's stumping you, you have too many cats, what do you do? Okay, so, all right, that's great. This is perfect. This is awesome. So how many cats do you have, Eoxy? And how vested, because, all right, so me growing up, we had a cat called TC. It stood for that cat, because that's you have 5. Okay, all right. So we had TC. It was called that cat because we hadn't yet adopted her fully. So it was just the cat. It was like a neighborhood cat that would come around. A neighborhood cat that would come around and just started, like, we would feed it and we'd pet it and we'd hang out with it, and the cat just sort of adopted us. So we called it that cat for a long time. Oh, that cat, the cat that, like, so then we eventually called her TC, and then she was eventually adopted. And then, but we didn't get her neutered or spayed, of course. I guess she would spayed so we didn't get her spayed, and of course she got pregnant, and she had a litter of cats. I think the first litter we named after candy bars. So we had Snickers, Baby Ruth, Milky Way. We had a bunch of there were a bunch of candy bars, and then she got pregnant again, and we had all those, and we gave a couple of them to friends, and then some of them died, of course, and then we had another litter of cats, and then she had another litter, and those were all we named them all after soda pop. So we had like root beer, Pepsi were the 2 we kept, and then I forget. Oh, we had Sprite, root beer, Pepsi, Sprite. I forget. Anyway, so yeah, and so there was a point in time where we had like 8 or 9 cats at the house. Like, it was just fucking wall to wall cats, And my, but I was the eldest of 5 children. My mom was a single mom. She was working. So my mom would often work she'd be at work at 8, and she'd get home at 6 or 6:30. So we were often left alone. So we would often have friends over. So there was always like 10 or 15 kids in the house at any point in time, plus all these cats. It was like the more biomass you could include, it didn't matter at all. Everybody would shout. It was just sheer chaos. It was just chaos. And we did not address those cats at all. Like, the thing is I think most of them were either adopted the way we adopted TC, or they died, and which is sad. But for me, at that point in time, for me, I animals were only responsibility. So all my family members they're all pretty hard sleepers, and I'm a very light sleeper. So the cats would come to my door and mewl at my door to wake me up so that I could take them outside, so I could open the door to let them outside. So that was like a regular thing for me. Like, the cats, and it wasn't just one cat. Like, each cat would come up and mewl at the door. And I was just up, and I go and I'd open them, I let them in. Oh yeah. And then they would also mewl outside my window to get that, like, let back in. So, it was pretty terrible. Yeah. And we did it. Oh God. So, and then we did have a fenced in area. This is a terrible story. So one of the cats, I think it was Pepsi. Pepsi also, because of course we didn't get our animals fixed. We were kids. We didn't know the protocols for pet handling, and my mom gave no fuck. So Pepsi gets pregnant. She has a litter of cats and the litter of kittens, and they're fucking adorable and super cute. And we have a big, you had Bagheera, Lil, oh that's awesome. Samwise, oh that's awesome. No, that's great. That's great. So we had this big, like, backyard, fenced off backyard, and the kittens. So we just let the kittens, like, run around there, and some wild dogs got in and killed 2 or 3 of the kittens, and ran away with one of them to eat. And so of course my little brother, I think it was my little brother, maybe it was Sarah, maybe it was my younger sister. I think one of them runs up to me and goes, Michael, and at this point in time, I'm like 13 years old. And my whole family growing up, we were all archers, right? So we did archery butts and we were like, so we were, and so I had my own bow. I had a recurve, but I also had a compound bow. And it was a bear compound. It was pretty fucking awesome. So what it is, so I'm like 13 years old. And so what I did is I went and and of course I didn't have any hunting arrows. So I just grabbed my target arrows and I grabbed a big fucking kitchen knife and I put it in my belt. And I'm like, I'm going to go fucking hunt these dogs down. I'm going to fucking kill them. I'm going to fucking destroy them. I went out there and I collected all the kitten bodies. And I was just like, I'm going to fucking kill these guys. And I remember I was just filled with so much fucking fury. So I go out, onto the street, and like we lived on a circle, right? So there's San Gorgonio intersected our circle, and we were on San Clemente. It was called San Clemente Circle. So we lived on the west, like the northwest corner of San Clemente Circle. So here's San. So I go down to San Gorgonio and I look around that way and I go, fuck it, I'm gonna go and I lived in Palm Desert. So there were literally at this point in time there were date palm groves everywhere, and there was a date palm grove on our little circle at this terminus right here. So if you go to the end of the circle, because it's more like an oval, not a circle. It's more like an oval. If you go all the way to the north end, there was a big date grove there, which my buddy John actually set on fire. So one of the neighbor kids set on fire. But so I go over there and I see the fucking wild pack of dogs, And there's one right there that looks like he's like the alpha, and he's fucking like he's like first he sees me approaching and he just checks me out, like he's just kind of like what's going on with this guy, So I grab my arrow and I knock and I pull it all the way back with all three fingers and I aim, and then the dog starts wagging his tail and he approaches me like he sees that I'm giving him attention, and so I'm choking up now again. So I'm gonna fucking kill all of you. I'm gonna fucking kill all of you, and so I'm sitting there, and this dog who's obviously just been like somebody owned this dog and then just fucking took it. I was like, I can't deal with this dog anymore, and just dropped it off somewhere, and now this fucking wild, used to be domestic, and so this dog who's obviously starving, all the dogs were obviously starving, and so this dog, it just comes and so he just starts wagging his tail, and he walks up maybe 10 feet of me, and I've got my bow drawn, and I'm like, I was like, I can't do it, motherfucker, I can't do it. I want these fucking dogs to pay for killing my kittens, but anyway, so that was a really, really difficult time. So and so I didn't kill him, and I was gonna hit him with an arrow and then stab him to death, And oh, thank you, Zoe. Yeah, and it really was, and that for me was just a really one of the first times where the idea that intense need can drive people to do. Drive anything to do crazy, and because I mean those dogs went into they broke into we had a side gate, so these dogs broke into a human's side gate while there were kids playing to attack kittens, because they saw I don't know even know how they knew the kittens were there, but the thing is they engaged in behaviors that there's no fucking way they would normally engage in, Yeah. Anyway, so that was just heartbreak. So but that does not get rid of your cats, Eoxy. So, and I do have another cat story. But so you have five cats. You have five cats. Now do all of the cats, or do all the cats have at least a connection to at least one person in the house? Yeah, amen, Lenina. Yeah. And the thing is, it's crazy because the thing is for me, okay. And so, yeah, okay. So every cat is precious. Every cat is precious to everybody in the house. I'm sorry, dude. You're gonna live with five cats until they're dead. Yeah, sorry, brother. The thing is that what you do is you create yeah. Hey, paper cat, how you doing, man? Amen, brother. Yeah, amen, Eoxy. Yeah, the thing is, and it does because that's the yeah. There's, speaking of cats, here's here's the most the most papery of them all. No, I no. Well, so some wild dogs, paper cat. I was telling a story about a time where some wild dogs killed some kittens of ours, and I went out hunting. I was like, I'm gonna fucking revenge those. I'm gonna exact my revenge on those dogs, and they were sweetheart dogs. They'd just been abandoned, and man, yeah, that was a fucking God, like what a kick in the fucking nuts that was. So. Yeah, well, Isabella, you could have thrown out some other topic, you know. Hey, I just go with the flow. But really truthfully, yeah. It's funny. So I actually don't have. I didn't have. Like I said, for me, animals were always just responsibility. You know, they weren't the kind of thing that I Like I would pet them and they would come up, like particularly because we had 1,000 cats, so almost invariably you'd sit down somewhere and some cat would come and rub up against you, and I would pet the cat and like be like, hey, and occasionally my buddy, you know, like, yeah, I know, because I wasn't doing the face. So if this is one thing I do suggest, if you own a cat, particularly if you own a kitten, you can train the cat to like be totally cool with this, and it's fucking awesome. So a cat's skull, you can literally hold like a baseball. You just put your hand right around their face is like this. You just put your hand right around it. You can hold like a baseball, and you can just shake it like this. Oh, kitty. Now the thing is, if they're older cats and that's never been done to them, they lose their mind. But if you do it as a little kitten, and you just go, oh, the thing is and they're raised to it. It's fucking hilarious because I would like my cat would walk up, and I would just hold my hand up like this, and it would just butt my head, and I just do this. So I'd be like, oh, kitty. So that is, and I've trained multiple cats over the course of my life to do that, including Katie's cats, who were like 2 years old when I met them, and I trained them. I would grab their faces and they'd just be purring, you know, I'd be like, I got your face, you know. So yeah, so that's so if they're too old, they're too old. But the thing is, if you start training with kittens, trust me, it's fucking awesome, because you're like, oh, I got your face, you know. I do that with Sue. Sue's face is way too big for me to actually like palm it the way, but I will still grab his face and be like, I got your face, you know. But yeah, Yoxie, I'm sorry, dude. I wish my significant other did that too. Yeah, well, that's you have to communicate. You have to communicate, Isabella. Like, you have to tell him, you know. I could have, but it's a sensitive one. What's a sensitive one? What were we talking about? One of my cats likes Spankies. Oh yeah, no, yeah. I've definitely done that. Yeah, like any way you can. Oh yeah, and so with dogs, like with any man. So it's, in fact, Sue, when he was a little puppy, what I would do is I would sit like this. When he was a little puppy, I'd sit like this, and I would put him on his back. I'd put his spine right here, like right between my, so I put his spine there, and I would just rub his belly. I'd be like, oh, and to this day, and his back leg would start kicking, you know, and to this day, I can still rub his belly, and he starts thumping, like, and I'll be like, so what I'll do is I'll do that, like if I'm talking with friends, and like, oh, he's a majestic looking dog. I'll be like, oh yeah, and I'll be doing that, and then before he does it, I'll be like, I'm Thumper, and I'm thumping, and then Sue just starts going, ting, ting, ting. I'm like, yes, he's mine. Yeah, it's so cute. It's ridiculous. So yeah, So I've been doing that. So, and I used to put him. When he was like, it's all up until the point that he was a year old, because by the time he was a year old, he was 100 pounds. So, but he basically put on 10 pounds every month. So we got him, and he got him when he was 2 months old, and he was this little fur ball. If you're a Facebook friend of mine, my banner is him at 2 months old. So he's this little fur ball, and he was just under 20 pounds. And then by month 3, he was like around 30 pounds. And then he started getting kind of like clockwork, like each month, 4 months, 40 pounds, 5 months, 50 pounds. So he just, like, it was crazy. So I would put him like a lamb. Like I would hold his legs and put him around my shoulders and just walk around with him. And he'd just be like, this is cool, you know. But now he's fucking way too big for that. But it's sad, because I wish I could, because that was a lot of fun. It was great. I also liked with my cats. I would when they were really young kittens, I would pet them. I would hold them on my arm, and I would just pet them. I would pet them on their bellies, and so eventually I got to the point where I could like they just be like splayed out on my arm, and I'd walk around the house. I would walk around the house and just hold them like this. like this. Yeah, and so yeah. Anyway, I wish my significant other grabbed me like. Well, that's well. You need again, Isabella. I think it's all about communication. Hey, HP Crafter, how you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, that's. All right, so that one that was a question we couldn't address. Yeah, you're gonna live with those cats forever. So right on HP Craftwork, right on, brother. So could I talk about my sensitive topic? Yeah, I don't. Considering the vast majority of your your contributions to the conversation tonight, Isabella, I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to say no, but all right, yeah. What's your sensitive topic? Oh Jesus. Let's hope that this is. I mean, it's an 18+ stream. Like that's fine, but what's your sensitive topic? Vaginal itching. Okay, huh? All right. Well, we can talk. That's all right. That's something I can talk about. Now that's something I can talk about. Good. Yeah. Hey, 7-4s. Hey, man. How you doing, amigo? Good to see you. Okay. So all right. So Zoe is exactly right. There is creams for that. So there are. The thing is it like, yeah, and that is pretty easy. I mean, the thing is like, is it? I mean, has it been? Is it something that happens? It's been happening for a long time. Is it something that just started happening? Yeah. Lock up your daughters. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm kind of figuring. I mean, I'm thinking, and the funny thing is that like so it's really funny. My ex Sarah and I, we passed yeast infections back and forth for like 2 years. Like it was fucking so infuriating because we're sexual creatures, and so we're like fuck. So we'd both go in, we'd both get treated at the same time. Like it took us a while to realize that we were passing it back and forth. So could it be that I haven't drunk enough water? Yes, it could be. Yes, that's exactly that certainly could be a big part of it. Yes, do drink more water. And also wash your hands. Keep your hands washed, particularly if you're touching your any bits that lead into your system. Always wash your hands. That's an important thing. Keep your hands washed, and then do remain hydrated. And cranberry juice is excellent for the whole urinary tract. It's good for your kidneys. So yeah. You're not touching your system, spelled SISTEM, which suggests sisters. Like, oh yeah, okay. I was like, is that my system? Like, hey, like you're expressing solidarity with your feminine body parts. All right, sister, system. Yeah. That's exactly right. Drink water, eat healthy, get plenty of rest, and that's the other thing. Get plenty of rest. Your body heals. Your body heals better. Oh yeah, yogurt. Yeah, yogurt. I think it's like, although I heard that there are. Systems are, yeah, amen. And eat bacon. Well, she doesn't. Aren't you a vegetarian, Isabella? No. So do you is it eating yogurt, Lenina, or is it applying yogurt? I've always wondered about that, and like I think that was something that. Oh yeah, vegan bacon. All right, yeah. And that works wonders, huh? That's awesome. That's crazy. That's so weird. So I guess. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense because it's all connected. Yeah. You wrap it. For you 7-4s. You'd wrap it. Vegan bacon. Yeah. Is there vegetarian bacon? Like, is there bacon made of cheese? And then is there like? Yeah. No. Yeah. What I meant, right, Ian? The thing is like that's anyway. I might have like that was a long time ago. Sarah and I were together over 10 years ago. So and then we were passing back and forth all this stuff even longer. So it has live cultures. It can rebalance your system, but I've heard people use it topically as well. Yeah, that's I think that was something that I read that I was like I think this is how we have to do this, sweetheart. So. You'd be surprised how much diet affects. Oh yeah, I bet. I mean, well, it's actually also the male bits. It's really funny for me. I can tell when I eat well, sorry, I don't want to overshare, but when I don't eat properly, like when I eat bad food consistently, it does have an effect on all aspects of my plumbing, and I definitely am highly aware. I'm like, fuck, this is crazy. And as I get older, the effects on my plumbing become more pronounced. So I have to, so now I try to not get rip roaring drunk. The last time I did recently plum, PULMBING, Isabella. So plum with a B. Yeah. And right, Shubru. And it's crazy because I never like I had a ironclad. I was invulnerable until I was 42 years old. I was fucking invulnerable. I remember in my early 30s, my buddies were saying like, "Oh, I can't eat flaming hot Cheetos. I can't do this or that." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Right? And I was like, Odelay, maybe it's just the Mexican in me. Like I can do spicy stuff. I can do whatever. But I hit 42 years old, and all of a sudden, bum. Like and it's all. If I do anything in moderation, I'm totally fine. I don't pay for it for days afterwards. But if I don't, I'm like, fuck, this is so good, man. These fucking ultra hot chili things on this thing is so amazing, and I'm just gonna go to town and I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it later. I don't care. By day 3, when literally I'm in so much pain, like it's impossible to move. I'm like walking is a chore. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? I'm so fucking stupid, So, you can't have a fat. So that's I can't. So yeah, and it's crazy. So yeah, For me, it's basically anything too much ends up fucking with my system, my plumbing, So, and Elix said, hold on, let's see what Elix said. Hold on. I've been eating a ton of bagels since wait, hold on. I've been eating a ton of bagels since lockdown, reduced my store visits to once a week, and I hate it. I've gained like 15 pounds. More specifically, I've lost all, I'm so sorry, brother. Yeah. I mean, but you know what, man? I mean, that's right. The thing is like, if there's any moment in our lives to give yourself a pass on that. Like the thing is like certainly don't like all right, so don't allow it, like because it does get it you when you start failing at doing the thing you want to do, it becomes a lot easier to just say fuck it, So don't get the fuck it's, don't get the fuck it's. But the thing is but give yourself a pass, man. I'm so pissed, but it's like, amen. And so don't sweat it, brother. The thing is like, but and so really truthfully, man, like, so I do have to say, so all right, so I'm 47 years old. I do a little tiny workout just recently. I worked out every day of my life from 5 years old. My dad taught me I would do 50 crunches, then eventually moved to 150 crunches every day. And I did push-ups like this, and push-ups like this every single day from I added the different push-up thing. So from 5 years old. So when I was like 7 years old, I literally had like an 8-pack. I was one of those weird, crazy kids where you're like, what's going on with this weird freak, but because my dad, like that was like my dad, he showed me like martial arts stretches and this workout, and I just did it. I was like, all right, this is what you do. And so I did it my whole life until I was about 37, and then probably about 35. And then I just stopped. But the thing is and at that point in time, I was rocking out. I was playing a lot of rock and roll shows, and so I was jumping around on stage, and so I was like. But when I got to Austin, I didn't have any real workout regimen. I wasn't doing my workout. I wasn't doing anything, but I was walking Sue. And so, and I would take him on, like, and every single time I got stuck on a song, I would just take Sue out, And so we would just do that. And so just walking a distance, like if you can walk, 2 or 3 miles a day, 4 or 5 miles a day, like it has a like significant impact on your life. It's just awesome. So no, yeah, Rob talk. My voice is really troubled today. So I'm like, yeah, well, that's, hey, Odele. I ran 5 miles in the morning, then 4 hours of workouts on the court, and then 5 more miles after practice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's, I mean, and that's, well, so that's the thing. So for me, I'm trying to maintain some sort of like physical regimen that so in fact that's why I'm standing up. I really debated whether I wanted to sit down or whether I wanted to do the standing up. But the thing is, this is me playing guitar, me doing the stream is a big part of my daily workout, because I'm moving and I'm strumming and it's burning calories and it's giving me a little bit of a because I'm singing, it's working my core and it's giving I'm 47 and I don't feel 47. I know it. I run up and down stairs because I fucking hate walking. I hate trudging upstairs, so I run upstairs, along with Sue, which he's a 160 pound dog. He does not like running upstairs, but I force him. Little bastard. I'd be walking on streets in order to get to a footpath. Actual hiking would be a drive. Oh yeah. So yeah, but man, that's exactly like Elix. Just walking is a fucking. If you walk enough, it just does amazing things for your body. And I didn't realize that. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Zero was dead. Yeah, my voice is really like I've been singing. I sang kind of full tilt every single day for the past 2 weeks. So this is just the difficult. I just don't want to push it. I don't want to lose my voice. So, and what sucks? So he said that sucked, Lenina too. I missed that Lenina's comment. One Ian. What was it you said? I wanted that. Oh, here you go. I have a standing desk at work and I stand all day. Right. And just standing for that amount of time, like all of this gets worked out. Of course it's not like it's an intense workout. It's not like you're going to build like significant muscle, but it does tone you up and it does burn calories. And yeah, I think it's great, Oh yeah, see that's tough. That's always tough. If there's no sidewalks, and in fact that happened to me today. I was in fact it was crazy. I was talking with a friend of mine, and this friend kind of got so I was at a choke point. So Austin has these like speed bumps. They'll have there are on our residential streets. They'll have a planter and like a little speed bump so it kind of operates as a choke point to slow people down. And so this fucking delivery truck, so I'm walking Sue, and Sue's 160 pounds, and so I'm walking Sue and I'm to the left of him. So the sidewalk's right to my left. And Sue's right here, and I see this truck barreling down, and it doesn't look like he gives any fucks that I've got Sue. So I pull off on the grass, and I try pulling Sue, but Sue, of course, is sniffing something. And he doesn't want to move, and the guy just fucking barrels by and misses Sue by this much, And so, of course, I'm like, "Fuck you, dude." I just flip him off, and then if she slams on the brakes, what the fuck? Look, I'm going 20 miles an hour. I'm like, yeah, you were going through a fucking choke point, dude. So we got this. We just got into this tete-a-tete, it was terrible. It was really terrible. But, and I was saying that, why was I saying that? I was saying that for, I was saying that for some reason about, fuck, why can I not, oh no, sorry, no sidewalks, yeah. So things so when there are drivers that feel entitled, like this is my road, and you're walking on my road, which is exactly, and that's exactly what this guy said. He's like, it's a road. Cars belong on this road. I'm like, no, it's a residential neighborhood. It's a residential area, and kids play on the street, asshole. Kids play on the street. And so if you see kids playing on the street, you don't just fucking barrel through because trucks belong here. Fucking bullshit. But anyway, yeah, I didn't say that to him. I should have said that to him, but I was very, very upset at the time because he fucking threatened my dog's life. I've got I don't lose my cool over much stuff, but you threaten something I love. I have so few things I love, I know I should have, Zoe. I just didn't have the presence of mind, So I just don't. So it's easier for you to stand all day than stand. That's smart. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know, Paper Cat. Yeah. It's crazy. And it's funny because most people. Hey, Paradox Illusionist. Good to see you, brother. It's crazy because most people are like most people just want to get where they're going, and they follow the rules. And yeah, we all like in Los Angeles, everybody drives 5 to 10 miles an hour out over the speed limit, but we all do. We all leave a lot of space. If you're a native LA driver, leaves 3 or 4 car lengths between the cars. The thing is but there are a lot of non-LA drivers in LA, and you run across these self-entitled cocktwats that fucking drive like fucking assholes and put everybody's lives at risk and pull out like are going 90 miles an hour and slam on the brakes as just as they're full like coming up against somebody's ass to punish you for like and I'm like and so having grown up in LA as someone who I have no fear, I don't give a fuck about them. You can pull a gun on me. I'd shoot me. But what? Fuck you. Like, you know. So no. So yeah. So I give no fucks. Like I give no fucks. And so I have gotten in so many altercations, which is obviously that's where I hate everyone came from, because the guy fucking, you know, slammed like, you know, cut me off. And I hit the horn, fucking slammed on his brakes. I climbed out of the car. All right, let's go. And then he hopped out, and he was a giant. And I was like, oh, great. I have to fucking fight a giant. It's awesome. So you're saying we put a giant bear here around LA and let no one in or out? Oh, yeah, no, of course. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, you would have to remove a fuck ton of people. And then LA might be a little bit of a driving utopia, plebe. Yeah, so everybody feels like they own the road. Yeah, and that really is sort of the world around, man. You know, it's or the United States around. So no, so the I hate everyone story. So I walk up, I'm like, dude, you fucking cut me off. And of course he's in this little tiny red vehicle, and he climbs out, and he just like Optimus Prime, if you guys know the Transformers, he fucking, and he explodes into this he's like this tall, and he's like this, like he's just, and I'm like, motherfucker. Of course, but the thing is like, I'm not gonna back down. So he's, but I'm now apprehensive. And he's like, what? And I'm like, dude, you fucking cut me off, man. Like, you could just be like, I'm like, I fucking honk my horn because you fucking cut me off. And he's like, oh, blah 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 blah. And I was like, just be careful. All right, see ya. Climb back in my car. I was like, yay. What is the housework chore that I hate the most? What is the housework chore I hate the most? I guess for me, so my whole life has been so when I first started Universal, right? So when I first started Universal, I was making good money. I was living by myself. I was a big fan of everything. I was anime, comic books, video games, computer games, console games, novels, science fiction, science fantasy, regular fantasy.
That I'm a nerd, and I'm here tonight to stand up for the rights of other nerds.
You fucking asshole! Yeah. So, and I was like, I literally like, and at this point in time, I feel like Thomas Jefferson. There was a point in the Thomas Jefferson letters, which are like letters he wrote to all of his friends, correspondences with him and his friends, and I think even with his wife. Like at one point in time, in one of his letters, I read the book. It's pretty fucking awesome. But at one point in time, he's grousing to his friend. He's like, I know everything there is to know. I own every book that I can actually publish. Every book in English I can buy. I've read them all. I've read them all multiple times. I know everything that there is to know that is available for human beings to know. And I'm like, fucking hell. So I felt that way. I felt that way in the early 90s. Like I just knew all things geek, you know. And so of course I was working for Universal Cartoon Studios. So we had a presence at like Comic-Con, and we had a presence at Gen Con, and we had a presence at anything kind of animation oriented at all, you know. Oh, right. Hey, G Master P90, how you doing, man? Good to see you. So I just kept collecting these fucking knickknacks, you know. I would just go places and people would give me stuff, and I would buy, and I'm telling you, Isabella. One second. So I just bought tons and tons of shit, and so I had like a big house. Not a house, but it was a big apartment, and I just fucking filled it up with shit, and then. Literally, since those days, I've been trying to divest myself. I'm like, why the fuck did I buy all of this useless crap? And so I've been trying to divest myself. So every now and again, so now when I moved to Austin, I moved with only the stuff that could fit in my that could fit in my Ford Mustang, right? So little tiny car. It was I had all this artwork. I had this art. I had my computer. I had all my recording equipment and and the 2 instruments I brought, and that was it. That was all I took, and my clothes. So but even so, I've still managed to accumulate and my plants. I've had these plants since I was 23 years old. So I've had these plants for 24 years. But all the rest of this shit has accumulated over time. So so every now and again, I'm a pretty organized person, but I'm not a super neat person. Like I don't mind things getting a little cluttered and then I clean them up. But occasionally some level of clutter gets to be so pronounced that I'm like, oh, I'll just deal with it later. So parts of my closet are like that. I just cleaned out. I have a downstairs like small closet where my water heater is, and and I just cleaned that out. It took me like an hour and a half of like, do I want this? Do I really need this? Is this something that I'm gonna ever use again? Like yes, I spent $20 on this fucking on this scratch fixture for a car, but I don't own a car right now. Do I want to hang on to this? Like, yes, it's almost full. Yes, it's worth $20, but do I want to hang on to it? Should I go give it to a friend? So, oh yeah. And that's always, and thank you, Paper Cat. And that's always been the thing. So I just try to be clutter free, but for whatever reason, like once you're in a place long enough, you just accumulate shit, And so I've been trying to spend the last few weeks trying to declutter the rest of my family. And that's really hard. So, and actually semaphores, that's actually great. I don't regret anything. I don't regret, even when I lose shit that I really care about. Give me about a month. I don't care about it anymore. The thing is like, I've had guitars, awesome guitars that were on permanent loan to me, stolen, like guitars I would still have to this day that were amazing because they were on permanent loan that I no longer have. And the thing is, and that was awful for the first couple months. I was like, oh, it's awful. But I'm like, fuck it. Like I don't build emotional attachments to stuff very easily. I've got an emotional attachment to this guitar because I've had it for over a decade. And I've written hundreds of songs on it, but I don't name it. I don't name it. I don't touch it and be like, oh baby, like I don't think that but I do have an emotional attachment to this guitar. That's about all I have in terms of like physical things, any connection to, So there is a point when you realize, and that's exactly it, Paper Cat. That's exactly it. I just wanted to divest myself of all of the shit I was carrying around with me, left and right, all the time. Like I'm like every single time I move, I'm like, fuck, I have to pack up all this shit again. So I just wanted to be, and in fact, that was it was from touring. So I kept. So when I first toured, I had a big bag, and then I was like, I need 2 pairs of jeans and 5 t-shirts, five sets of underwear, and 10 pairs of socks, because occasionally I would like, and that's all I need. And then like my sundries, like my toothpaste and toothbrush and contact solution and contacts, like, but otherwise, like that's all I need. I just need that, and then I can tour for months and months and months. Every 5 days, we find a fucking washing machine, and if not, every 10 days, and I just rewear stuff, Oh yeah, no, I mean I do feel you on that paradox illusion. Occasionally there and actually, well, I've got a conversation. I've got something about that semaphores. Occasionally there is something that I really do regret losing, that I do build a special connection to. I can't really think of. Oh well, here, this is one. Look at this. So this was a gift to me. This was a gift to me from my friends, Scott Delas Casas and his longtime significant other. They have a baby, Haven Alexander. So Haven is a producer. She was the producer my Gary Coleman story. She's the producer that was working. When my whole Gary Coleman story happened. So this is not just a maquette, right? So that's what these are called, maquettes. This is actually a one of the Superman. These were given to the staff. These were given to like the staff. Like, so they got me one of these, just, I believe it was a Christmas gift, or maybe it was a birthday gift. I think it was a birthday gift. So, and I've had this since, I think 1996 or 1997. So for a long time. I don't even know. I will never ever get rid of it. I will never get rid of it. Yeah. And it's signed by Bruce Timm. It's signed by Bruce Timm, the guy that actually designed. He's the guy that designed the Batman, the Dark Knight, or the Batman animated series. He did all, like, he was a guy that came up with all the designs for that, and then also all the designs for Superman. So that's precious to me. Like that was such an awesome gift. I've had it for a long time. Usually when I move someplace, when I break that out, I break it out when the place feels like home. So I had that in store. I had that here in storage, and I waited until it was like Zero is dead. You want all right? So no. This is great. This is exactly how this is all working. So hey Mike, a bit off subject, but I want to learn how to play the guitar. Where should I start? Wait, no, hold on. Let me. I just want to read what Isabella said. So, I rarely replace. Oh yeah. Well, that's. I had a huge record collection that was ruined by my girlfriend's cousin. Oh no. Music. I do have. In fact, I have CDs and cassettes from friends' bands of mine that no longer exist. I've even reached out to them. I'm like, hey man, do you still have your CD or disc or whatever? And like, no, I don't have any more, and I don't even have them. I'm like, do you have them as MP3s? No. Like, I'm like, fuck. So I've definitely lost some music. But sorry. So the first thing is, so do you own a guitar? Zero is dead. Do you own a guitar? Because I can show you exactly how I learned, which is a great way to learn, because it's just pretty easy, and it doesn't require a lot of time and attention out of you. And it will teach you how to play and sing at the same time, and also how to songwrite. So you'll learn all three. So if you break it out when you get comfortable, then you bring it along for one night. Yes, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I do. I bring Soups with me, and he's like, but all right, so this is what you do. So do you know any do you know any chords? Do you know anything? You own a guitar, but do you play? Do you know any chords as of right now? So what I'd suggest is learning all the open chords. So A, B, or you can play B, like B, C, D, E. You can play F like this, but that's the bar chord is the way that most people I know prefer to play F, and then G. Do you know? It just goes up to G. Do you know the open chords? Oh yeah, so I own a guitar. I had classes as a child, but never really. Okay. So all right. So this is what I suggest. So what you're gonna do, what you're gonna want to do, and if any of you literally wants to learn how to play the guitar, this is the best. This is like the easiest and best way to do it. So you're gonna want to do it. You're gonna want to do it when you're alone, because you're gonna annoy the shit out of anybody. Like, so put on a show or put on a movie that you like. Put on a show or a movie that you've seen before. It doesn't require a lot of attention from you, right? So put on something that you can kind of keep your mind distracted. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna if you're learning the C chord, right? So what I suggest is learn two chords at a time, right? So, or at least to start. So if you're learning the C chord, it's gonna be like right here. And when you first start, like I remember when I first started playing guitar, and now oh, right on, Shubru. You be well, brother. Adios, man. Yeah, and amen. Be kind. Always be kind. So I remember when I first started, I was left-handed. So when I air guitar before I started playing guitar, I would play like this. So for me, learning to play this way was very contrarian to my brain, So what I would do is like, and semaphore is right. You have to first build up finger strength, and you're gonna have to first build up calluses. You're gonna crush the shit out of your foot. You're gonna crush the shit out of the strings. Everybody goes through it. It's gonna hurt for a while. Like, the thing is, like, don't think you're doing anything wrong. Don't worry about it. But if you're learning the C chord, so you're gonna like, this is the way. This is like literally. I'm gonna mimic how I first learned how to play the C chord. I was like, okay, okay, and then this one, and I'd be like, that doesn't sound right. And so what I would do is I would focus on it until I could get to where I could ring it out like that. There you go. So I'd ring it out. There you go. And so what I do is I go 1, 2, or what I'd suggest is instead go 1, 2, 3, 4, And then what I do, say it as you're playing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go to the next chord. I would suggest a G. So what I do is I'd be like, okay, all right, there we go. That one, and then. So yeah, I'd be like, that doesn't sound right, but I'd keep tinkering with it until I could get ring it out. And then once I could ring it out, I'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I go back to the C. And so when you first start, it's gonna be that long and that laborious. You're gonna be like, oh fucking hell, how's it look again? How do I do it? But the thing is that like, no, yeah, amen. That's exactly right, G Master Pro. So the thing is, so what you do, Zero is Dead, is you just get to the point where you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the great thing is, and you want to get to the point. So you put on a show. So if you put on a show and you do that while you watch the entire show, you're getting at least half an hour or a full hour of practice, right? If you put on a movie, you're getting 2 hours of practice. So put on something that can kind of occupy your mind and just to get to the point where you can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So and just get to the point where you can do that without even thinking about it. You know, before you add any other chords, just get to the point where you can go back and forth between those nice and easy and it sounds clean, right? And what will happen is at some point in time, as you're doing that, you'll get so fucking bored of saying 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll start going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 2 and 3 and 4. You'll just start fucking with it because it's just fucking automatic and by rote. And the moment you change it from 1, 2, 3, 4, you're songwriting, right? So what you're doing is you're learning how to play and sing simultaneously. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 2 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and this is the song that I'm writing right now. This is the song. You say Mike, yeah. You can also say Mike, yeah. MikeTVLive, yeah. Mike TV. Yeah, I know. You can't really do that. So anyway, just focus on 2 chords and get to the point where you can go back and forth between them really easily, and we can do that and just see what you can like pull off, like just being able to, like, because what you're doing when you're doing that, when you the moment you start deviating from just the 1, 2, 3, 4, you're learning how to songwrite. Because that's what songwriting is. You're just changing the notes. You're learning how to songwrite. You're learning how to play and sing, and you're learning how to play the guitar. Yes, you're right. Well, yeah, yes. So Semaphores is right. It did take me 15 years to write a 1-chord song, though. So I would suggest writing a 1-chord song is probably advanced songwriting. Don't worry about that to start. So. That's I get that all the time, plebe. I get that all the time. like, oh yeah, put me on the list, and I show up, and I'm like, hi, I'm Mike TV, and they're like, you're not on the list. I'm like, I know they don't know my last name, so apparently they didn't put me on the list. Great, thank you. And it really is, and so if you can do that. So the great thing is, like, so what happens is your practice no longer, but like, so you're watching a show, all you're doing is you're just training your muscle memory, because that's most of guitar playing, right? And playing and singing, it's just muscle memory. So you're just training it to be, and then, and then what you'll do is rather than adding 2 more chords, you can definitely try out 2 completely brand new chords, or what I suggest is just add another chord. So. And then now you're gonna add D. And then you just do them one at a time, and just keep adding them in, getting them like mastering them. And if you keep singing, if you keep saying 1, 2, 3, 4, or adding 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, like if you keep doing that you're learning the rudiments of playing and singing simultaneously. And also the rudiments of songwriting, and it just ends up being awesome. But all right, so that's it. So that's how you do it. I mean, and really, truthfully, like I promise you, if you put on a half an hour show and just do that every single day, in a month's time, you will see marked improvement. Yeah. So, all right. So what are we doing? What? All right. Next. Throw them at me. Ba-ding, ba-doom. Yes, and then you can, yeah, no, amen. Yeah, and once you know A, B, C, D, E, F, and G as chords, like you can start learning. You can use those chords to play pretty much anything. I mean, and then if you can learn the bar chords, if you can learn all the open chords as well as this position bar chord. If you can learn that, then you can also play all the minors down here. You just bring it down one step. One string. So that's all the minors, and then if you can also learn the second position bar chord, which is then like literally you have all of the necessary tools to basically fake your way through pretty much any song that's ever been written. So it is a lot of work, but if you just learn that, you can learn it in a year's time and be able to play well enough to be able to cheat your way through any song you could imagine. So it really I would say it will take like a year's worth of commitment, or if you're going to really pursue it full tilt, like if you're going to put 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day on it, you can get there and you can get to that point in like 6 months. But I can finger a minor. I do finger minors all the time. So why is he sitting in an electric chair? What are his crimes? Wait, who? Oh yeah. This is that was just a gift from my buddy Charlie. Like it's literally the kind of thing I would never take. It's a giga. I don't like gigas, but I'm just not gonna throw it up. Brett Shregniff Lane he was a regular in the stream semaphores. He was a regular in the stream, real sweetheart, real fun guy, and there was a point in time a few years ago where he reached out and said that he was like, hey guys, I'm going to the doctor's office tomorrow. I think I might have a brain tumor. And we're like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I've been having a tough time with my speech. And we're like, fuck, dude, just know, please come back and let us know how it turns out. Know that our thoughts go with you. And hey, Stephanie, how you doing? Good to see you. And he came back a couple weeks later and said he's like I'm sorry. He shows up and he's like, it's not a brain tumor. We're like, yay, that's awesome. He's like, no, it's worse than a brain tumor. Hey, Big O Spiders, how you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. And we're like, how is anything worse than a brain tumor? And it turns out he had what they call in the UK motor neuro disease, but what we call here in the US, we call it ALS. So it's Lou Gehrig's disease. It basically what happens is that the Ian was the myelin coating on your nerves starts to decay. But basically what it is the signals that get sent from your brain to your body just stop being sent correctly. So your body starts shaking a lot, which burns. Like if you're doing this all day, you're burning calories, and so you just shed any extra weight you have, and you become a fucking stick. Or the myelin sheath. There you go. And it becomes difficult to eat. Like to chew becomes difficult. Your speech becomes impaired. Eventually you lose your ability to speak. You eventually like very, very often people that suffer from ALS, their lungs stop working and they die of suffocation. Like it's just but all the while your brain is still pretty functional. I mean, there is some kind of fogginess that does eventually develop as the disease progresses, but it's just a fucking terrible disease, Yeah. And yeah, just awful. I would not wish that on, I would not even wish that on shitty people that lie all the time. What is the tube thing next to the guitar? This one? This thing here? What is it? That tube thing? Oh, this is a bone. This is one of Sue's bones. This is one of Sue's bones. Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. I didn't even see it. Tube thing. Oh, it's the dog bone. Yeah. These are all Sue's bones. Some of them he's had for years. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah. So I wrote a song for him, Semaphores, called "This Awful Thing." It's on my newest record. Yeah, he was just a real important part of our community, and the way he went, like he gave us a kind of a front row seat to like what was going on with him over the like year and a half that he was basically like normally you live when you're diagnosed, you live for about 4 years, I believe it was, or 2 years after diagnosis, and his was much more advanced. So it like he's basically, or his was not advanced, a lot more aggressive, so. Oh yeah, Hazer was dead. Yeah, amen. Yeah, so I actually was at that show. I was at that show in '96. I've seen Guided by Voices, I think like 10 or 15 times. Yeah, at least 10 times, maybe even more. I'm certain there's things I forget. I've like shows I forget. I'm so sorry, Stephanie. Why are you on mobile? And so, if you guys don't know, Bagel Spiders, are you still streaming on Mixer, man? Or that was you, right? You actually switched from Twitch to Mixer. Are you still on Mixer? Or are you back here on Twitch? What's going on with you? But anyway, but Bagel Spiders is an amazing musician, great performer, long time guy. He's I think he actually even predates me, or is like right. Oh, he's back on Twitch. Awesome, right on, awesome. Oh, that's great, man. Awesome. That's great, dude. Well, yeah. So give him a follow. So that was the reason why I was asking. So since he's here on Twitch, give him a follow. Like I promise you, he's like check him out. He's a lot of fun. Super cool guy. Genuine sweetheart. And he's a great musician. Oh, really? Why is that? What's the what's going on? Like, is it the community? Is it just not a Oh, instead of bagel spiders, instead of bagel spiders. That's very funny. Bagel spiders, yeah. Oh yeah, my absolute pleasure, Bagel. Yeah, of course, man. Okay, so yeah, so what was the question? Any thoughts on age differences in relationships? How? Oh God, that's actually very curious for me too. So I dated somebody that was 19 years my junior. Yeah, it's funny. So for me, 90% of the time, it's big ol' is not followed by spider. Yes, you're right. So for me, the thing is that like, if you're dealing with adults, right? So if you're dealing with anybody that, I mean, and again, I think that like, I think 19 and 20, even though I was 37 when I was like, I think it depends on the person, right? The thing is like, for me, like, man, life is fucking fleeting. If you find love, if you find someone that really turns you on, if you find someone that you enjoy being with, regardless of I mean, Harold and Maude, right? If you've never seen that movie, and you feel weird about big gaps in age range, watch Harold and Maude. The thing is that like, for me, if you find someone that really turns you on, like I from my perspective, you pursue them, if like, the thing is that like, yeah, it doesn't have to, yeah, anyway, like, I mean, and that will always be my perspective. The thing is that like, I don't, if someone turns you on, then you like, the thing is like, like they need to be adults, right? They need to be adults. But other than that, the thing is like, so if you're 24 years old and you run across somebody that's in their 50s and you have a connection, like, things like, who the fuck, like, who's to say, like, the thing is like, from my perspective, the thing is like, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be awkward for your family. It's going to be awkward for your friends. It's going to be like, you're going to deal with that. The thing is like, but for me, like, find love, fucking follow love, like, the thing is like, that's just my thing. My sister married a man 10 years her senior. And I used to, this is one of my favorite movies. Harold and Maude. Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, so the age gap feels less odd the older. Yeah. And that's exactly right. So that's exactly right. And the thing is like, and so from my perspective, if you run across somebody that mirrors you intellectually, that mirrors you emotionally, that you laugh with all the time, that you love being with, that you love. The thing is like then what the fuck does age matter, right? The thing is that like age should like if you find all of these things that fucking work perfectly in this fucking crazy world where like things is like so for me like and again I say this because I've my whole life I've spent love starved, you know. Even my relationships, even I'm a serial monogamist, right? So I have not long distance, but I have long time relationships. Like I have relationships that last 5 years and 6 years and 7 years, you know. And the thing is and even those relationships, like they've always started off a little bit rocky. Like I made them work, you know. I made them work by hey, like I would, hey, let me show you how I communicate. Now you communicate with me. Let's figure this stuff out, you know. And so even though there were lots of red flags in the beginning, we still managed to work it out. And then, but almost invariably, those red flags in the beginning were the things that killed the relationship at the end. So the thing is that but even so, I don't regret them. They were awesome. I love them. I had a great time. I still love them, even though I'm not in contact with a number of them. I still love them. You know, like they were still an important part of my life. So I'm one of those folk that I just don't, you know, like, and again, and now I said, now I do want to say, for me, because of what I do, right? Like the thing is that me finding somebody that's in their late 30s or early 40s, that when I say I'm a professional musician, I live off of my music, and I don't really care about selling records. I don't really care about, like, the thing is like I already take whatever dating pool might be interested in dating a full-time musician, and I cut it down to zero. So the thing is, so already I have to find people that are excited about being in, like, so already my dating pool skews a lot younger than or that's not so. Certainly there, I did. Kirsten was one of those people. Kirsten was somebody that was, she was doing well on her own. She didn't care. She just wanted me. She wanted, you know, like she wanted to build something with me, and that was fine. That relationship ended for completely different reasons. But the thing is, but for the 3 months we were together, we were actually together for about 6 months, but I was on tour for three of those 6 months. So we were really together for 3 months. Those 3 months, they, you know, it was still enough rocky stuff on, like, anyway. But you're still pretty young, right, Ian? The thing is like so for me, if you find somebody that's 20 years older than you, or 30 years older than you, that you really like enjoy spending time with, and you spend a lot of time with them, like they are of the gender that you are attracted to, there's a good chance that romantic feelings will grow. If that's the case, then fuck it, man. This is you. We're here for one fucking. We're here. This is our life. It's not even the bird. It's not even the bird flying in. It's not the bird flying into a lit room and flying out the other window. That's not like that's way too much time. You know, we're here for 6 seconds. So the thing is, so just find joy. Find joy. When you find joy, grab on it with both hands and fucking just love it. You know. So 3 months. Oh, really? Yeah. I'm sorry for that, Semaphores. Like yeah. I think as long as there is an age gap, like 17 and 92. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, and even 17. I mean, because that's sort of Harold and Maude, right? I mean, the thing is like so for me, if you're the 92-year-old, and there's I think is like so really really truthfully, yeah. Oh, okay, right on, man, right on, brother. Well, yeah, I yeah. The thing is, like, I just, you know, that. Yeah, and so for me, the thing is that, like, so it really comes down to like are you able to have great conversations, or like are you connecting on levels other than sexual, you know? Because if you are, then great, you know, and if you're not, then revise your thinking, you know. But if you have, you know, if you have scintillating conversation and you want that conversation to keep going on, like of course there will be a point in time where like if they're the kind of person you're attracted to, I mean, if they're of the gender you're attracted to, you know, there's a good chance that romance will end up being on the table at some point in time, you know, like. So anyway, hold on, somebody's fucking blowing up my phone. What? Okay, hold on. Sorry, that was one of my neighbors. I've effectively been single for 15 years. I don't even dream of people physically touching. Oh, I'm so sorry, Elix. Yeah, that fucking breaks my heart, man. You know, like that's. So that was so. The thing is so for me, this just recently. So I am hanging out with somebody where our like where things have gotten a little romantic, just right now. But over the past year, I was I reconciled myself to the fact that I was like this is not gonna happen. Like I'm done pursuing relationships where people try to change me from being who I am. The thing is that I'm a songwriter before anything else. I love to write songs. I also love to record albums. I write a lot of music and I put out big records because I got a lot of music and that's what I do. Like that's what I love to do. I don't give a fuck about selling them, even though I do. I of course I do pretty well because I have all the Grey's Anatomy stuff and because of like, you know, you guys and because I do have a hardcore fan base. But the thing is, but my whole focus is not money. My whole focus is the music, you know. And literally every person I've been with has tried to change that in some capacity, you know. In fact, that's one of the cool things about this person I've been hanging out with lately is that's not the case, you know. And that's fucking incredibly refreshing to like be like, oh yeah, someone doesn't want like someone's not counseling me on finding a way to become more successful or more financially successful with what I do. That's fucking crazy. All right, thank you. That's awesome, you know. But for the past year, the year like up until just recently, the year before that, like I just reconciled. I was like, I'm done, man. I can't deal with it anymore. I can't fucking deal with it. And so I had reconciled myself to like, it's just going to be me and Sue, you know, until he goes. And then after he goes, I don't know, like, I don't know if I can even deal with it. Like now it turns out that I can't actually deal with death. My dad died recently and that was awful, but I figured that the moment somebody I loved died, I was going to go not too soon after, and that's not the case. So, but now I've been accepted that I will be arrested for horny crimes. Isabella, what is going on with you? Oh, hey, thank you, Volgacho. Yeah, so you can just here. Do you have Spotify? You can look up my band. I mean, Spotify really is a kind of a if you look at Spotify and just look at my most popular songs, that's not a great way to get to know my band, because my best stuff is all my newest stuff. But my band, I experienced really early success over my first like 3 or 4 records, and I've been trying to like shake free of that success ever since. I love them. I love Grey's Anatomy. I love Weeds. I love the people that took care of me back in the day. But I was such a nascent songwriter. I was still cutting my teeth, you know. And so now that I'm writing better music than I ever have, like, you know, like people are just not paying attention. I mean, there are some, but not, no, like, I mean, obviously, you know, most of the folk here do. And I do have hardcore fans across the planet that like dig my stuff, but not, you know, not, like I wish all the people, like I have 40,000 people that listen to me each month. I wish all of them were listening to my new stuff as well as my old stuff. And then mostly listen to my old stuff, you know, so it goes. I was reading a woman's dating strategy Reddit during work, and let me tell you, women are monsters. Talking about projecting lifetime earning intentional high value mate game theory. Oh yeah, I mean, you know, but that's if that's what you're after, right? If that's what you're after, then all right, that's good, more power to you. As long as you're upfront with the men, then hey, right, more power to you. You know, the thing is he said he tried to suppress his sexual instincts, and I said, been there. Ian said that too, but now I've accepted. Okay, wait. So what are we talking about? Isabella, what are we talking about? Hold on, let me see. You were answering. Oh, Playboy. Okay, Playboy has no name. I see. Okay, I see. All right, right on. Yeah, oh, really? Yeah, no, I mean, don't, so this, all right, so this, I promise you guys, I promise you, if you don't treat yourself, if you're kind, right? If you're a kind person and you go throughout your days actively trying to not harm people around you, whatever crazy shit goes on inside your head, whatever crazy weird sexual like impulses you have, or whatever crazy like whatever like the thing is like that's fucking healthy. The thing is like don't excoriate yourself and don't frustrate yourself over the thing is like and if your needs, if your needs are not being taken care of, then find someone that will, or communicate with your partner and be like, hey, I have needs, like because we all change over time. We all have needs. Those needs sometimes get met, sometimes they don't, but those needs change and those desires change. Like as long as you're communicative about them, and as long as your partner's receptive, the thing is, it's like, or your partners, some people are not, some people are polyamorous, and that's totally fine as well. The thing is, like, just communicate with the people in your life and figure out ways to get, the thing is, like, again, we're here for 6 seconds. Like, I'm a hedonist. I seek I'm a pleasure seeker. I seek pleasure. I seek joy. I seek love. That's my whole life has just been about that. Like, yes, I have to deal with all of the shitty attributes of my life as well. I try to deal with them with as much facility as I possibly can, with as much agility as I possibly can, but, with as much agency as I possibly can. But, I really seek truth and pleasure and joy. Meanwhile, I literally found my husband out on the street busking and was the primary breadwinner in our relationship for the first few years. And that's awesome, right? I think it's like, I mean, if that's like that's the thing is if the two of you figure out a way you want to move forward and you're both like, yeah, we high five, let's do it, then fuck everybody else. You do it your way, right? And that's the thing. So if you're 70 years old and you run across a 22-year-old person that's like, I fucking love you and let's hang out and let's be together because it's so much fun to be with you, then fucking do it, And if you're like, and we're just gonna be on the road, amen, please. There you go. Yeah. That's that's. Yeah, the thing is because we're here for 6 seconds, and particularly if you find somebody that's fucking 70 years old, and you're like, I love you. The thing is how many years do you have? Maybe 30 if they have great genetics and they take care of themselves, So you're gonna fucking equivocate. You're gonna be like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know. I really love this person, but it might look bad in the eyes of my fucking people. Fuck people. Fuck them. Find your joy. Grab on with both hands and hold on. Paradox illusionist. Kudos to poly people. I legitimately can't deal with a lot of people's emotions. I think it's easier to take care of. No, amen. And I'm the exact same way. But the thing is, I do have friends that are in very successful polyamorous relationships, and it's fucking awesome. Like, the thing is the fact that I mostly only know threesomes. But I do have one couple, one friend of mine's couple. They were married for like 10 years, and then they decided to do the poly thing, and they're like big Burning Man people, and it seems to be fucking kicking ass for them, and they do multiple partners, and it's like they're the core unit around which everything orbits, and then they kind of have like flings whenever, like, and they actually round table them. They'll have flings, and they'll come back and they'll talk about like what the experience was like, and that turns them on, and that's fucking awesome. Like, amen. You go you. The thing is, because it's like there's no fucking shitty, like, once you get rid of the fucking religion, right? Once you get rid of religion and you just predicate your life on love and on friendship and on fidelity with the people that you've committed to. The thing is that suddenly, like, the world of possibilities opens up. And from my perspective, like we're here for, again, like, that's our life. Why not enjoy it? Why not find people that you love and like fill your days and your moments and your hours with joyful exuberance, And if you can't, then fucking get through it. Plug it, like put your head down, plow through it, and then find your way to the next moment of joyful exuberance. Amen, semaphores. And me, and the thing is, and I do get that. I do get that Vulgatio. It's really funny. I was the same way up until my early 40s, and I realized it's just penises and vaginas, like, it really doesn't matter. It's just like I don't care. The thing is like if I love somebody and they like things, and I totally get like you're together, it's the same penis and the same vagina for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It might get boring, you might have stopped exploring and figuring out new and interesting ways to keep things fresh and exciting. Or maybe one of you is into kink and one of you is really into vanilla sex. And the thing is that the person in kink, like, that will eventually destroy them. It will, like, if you're really into kink and you're not getting it, it will fuck with your head. So maybe you find a partner, like, maybe, like, every person's going to be different. Every person's able, so just communicate, be open and honest and loving, and be like, okay, this is a relationship. It's a little bit of a tit for tat. It's a little bit of compromise. It's a little bit of like me take care of you and you take care of me, So I'm fine in sharing, but I really need to be able to trust everyone. And my husband is apparently attracted to hot messes. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've been trying to open up our marriage for the last few years. I have to say it hasn't gone terribly well. Communicate and amen. And that's, yeah. And it really is. And that's even talking about it, right? Like even articulating your needs, even if they can't be met, just so the other person, your partner, the person with whom you're like, all right, we're going to build a life together. Your partner knows what you need. The thing is, you might be able to figure out, you might not be able to give each other exactly what each other wants, but you might be able to figure out ways to at least approximate it in a way that adds some extra fuel and adds some extra life to your relationship. And what if you feel completely the opposite? What do you mean iron axis? Like controlling and possessive, and you don't want them to do anything other than live in a box while you're out doing your thing. Is that what you mean? Because that to me seems like the opposite of loving and religion with theocratic. I was just being silly. But what do you mean? What do you mean by feeling completely the opposite? Being best friends and a really good team and having complementary skills. Have kept me happy match for 20 years. Need to change. Yeah, amen. And that's what. So no. I know. I was just being silly. I was totally being silly. Iron axis. I promise you. But what did you mean by if you feel completely the opposite? And then and I'm not. Hey, Spirit. How do you say? Good to see you, brother. I don't think I've got any songs that have wheelchairs included. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I've written many songs about the disabled. Oh, hey, right on, Isabella. Oh no, yeah, don't worry. So really truthfully, 74s, like everybody. Of course. Yes. No. Okay. I see what you're saying. Iron axis. Yes. So, okay. Yeah. Well, so again, like obviously, so if you grew, I'm figuring you grew up in a Christian church. So if you, whatever you believe, all right. So this is my thing. So you can believe whatever the fuck you want. You can believe in evil, like whatever you want. Like the thing is like, but when you are interacting with other human beings, the thing is like there's the best path forward with interacting with other human beings is to be equal parts taking care of yourself and taking care of those other people. The thing is like we're social creatures. Like we all of us want to get along for the most part. Not everybody, but for the most part. Like the vast majority of people just want to get along. They want things to be pleasant. They want to laugh. They want to have a good time. They don't want to have to deal with So it's funny. It's funny. Semaphores. I was raised Christian, but I'm agnostic now because I realize I don't have any verifiable proof that God exists, but I also don't have any verifiable proof that He doesn't. So so what I did is I just removed the God question out of the equation. In the same way I removed the dinosaur question out of the equation or alien life out of the equation. I don't need to think about it. It doesn't matter to me. If there is a God, I'm kind. I strive to do good. I live by a moral code that has been that started off as a Christian ethos, and I modified it to accommodate my perspective on the world right now. But the thing is, but still, I try to be kind. I just try to be kind. I try to be compassionate. I try to be, even before compassionate, I try to be empathetic. I try to be able to and so if there is a God and I meet Him and He says, because you didn't believe in me, you're going to hell, I'll be like, fucking right on, man. Odele, I did not want to belong in your club. I will take eternal suffering. I do not want to be in your club. If He doesn't, if there is a God and he's like, dude, you're kind and you did your damnedest and you went out of your way to take care of people that were in need. Good on you, man. Welcome in. Awesome, right? And so the thing is like, and so that's my perspective. So, and if there is no God and I just end, which is the scariest thing ever for me, because really I spent my whole life like learning how to be good at surviving and being a human being, and then I just lose it all. Fuck that noise. I mean, it does make it precious, but fuck that noise. If I could live 10,000 years, if someone said, Mike, right now you could live 10,000 years, your brain, you wouldn't even be able to hold on to any of the memories of right now. Are you willing to do it? I'd be like, fucking sign me up in a heartbeat. I will do it in a heartbeat. Amen. Amen. Iron Access. Yeah. So for me, yeah. So for me, like that's the thing is like, so I really do like there's any religion of the, or at least any of the major religions, there's usually a component of taking care of being kind and taking care of people, like I think is like, and so I subscribe to that. Like for me, that to me feels like love. And for me, like that's like love, like if you look at the universe, at least the way I look at it, it all kind of boils down to like the two primary emotional drivers of human beings is love and fear, right? So and fear is important. Fear is important. It's what keeps us alive. It's like the fact that we have this intense ability to kind of look at the world around us and be like, all right, that's dangerous and that's dangerous and that's dangerous, and be able to, and it allows us to negotiate the world well. But however, fear run amok fucking is from my perspective. And again, I'm not a psychologist, but I do spend a lot of time introspecting and looking at my life and then looking at the people around me. And I have a lot of friends that are also bright and also introspective and also songwriters and poets and writers. And we often have conversations like this. When fear really takes control of your heart, right? The thing is, you start making. That's where hate comes from. That's where jealousy comes from. Because that's where insecurity comes from, which begets hate and begets jealousy. So for me, looking at love, like love is the antidote to all these things. When you feel in your heart of hearts, you're taken care of, and you're like, man, this person's in my corner. This person that I love, my significant other is in my corner. My family members are in my corner. My siblings are in my corner. Like when you feel that you've got something that sees you for you, and it's like, fuck yeah, man, right on. I love you. I will be here for you. Like that really does shed a lot of your woe, right? It does. It's like even when you're facing imminent peril, even when you're like, oh my God, I was diagnosed with cancer and I've got 3 months to live. If your family rallies around you and says, well, I fucking love you, man. We are here for you. Like the thing is it really does help shed a lot of that fear and a lot of that woe. So for me, I do think that like, so I live for love. And I've lived for love my whole life. And so that's been the really heartbreak thing for me is like, I just haven't been able to find anybody. I mean, the thing is like, so with this new person, the great thing for me is that like, I talk about this kind of stuff all the time. Things are going very swimmingly well with this new person. It's really exciting. These are the kind of conversations we have. We seem to be lining up in terms of our perspectives. So that's really nice. But let me read what Spiritum said. Oh yeah, amen, Iron Access. I mean, so this now there's about like, let me read Spiritum and then we'll talk about Genesis and all that stuff because that's the really right. So hold on. So if you live a life where you're kind to others and there is a God, I'm pretty sure you get in no matter what your religious beliefs. But I doubt there is a God. As Stephen Fry said when he asked, you're right, yeah. How he'd say bone cancer in children. What's that about? How dare you? How dare you create a world in which there's such misery that is not our fault? It's not right. It's utterly evil. And that's I did see, but again, it's funny. It's funny because the thing is that like So if there is a God, right? If there is a God, then if there is a God, then that means that there is eternity, right? If there is a God, the way we conceive God, and there is an eternity, and that means that we do have souls, and those souls last forever. So what happens in this world is ephemeral, right? So you can do whatever the fuck, so you can literally use your life to teach lessons and do terrible things to people, and that's fine. And then God goes, hey, wasn't that crazy? Like, wasn't that like it could literally be treated like a ride. Like, I'm gonna die as a baby ride. Whee, this is crazy. I'm a baby and I'm dead. So things like, so I can see that perspective. The thing is, but unfortunately for me, there's nothing that I've experienced in my life that is suggested that that's the case, right? So I've never run across a burning bush. I've never seen. I've definitely encountered a lot of people that were pretending to speak in tongues, because I was at when I was a kid. I went to a church with some family members, and they're all like, and we're all together. And we all got like, there's this huge church, hundreds of people, and we all broke into these like little 6 and 7 person like groups, and we all sat there, and they all started like babbling, like, and I was like, what's going on? And they're like, and they're holding my hands, and they're like, we believe it, like, and they would, yeah, and they would occasionally say, yeah, and so I'm like, okay, am I supposed to do the same thing? So I just started babbling, and they're like, yes, thank you, Jesus, and I'm literally making this shit up. I'm making this shit up, guys. Like, why are you so excited? Because I'm making it up. And I was like, oh, you too, you're also making it up. You believe you're being like so it was just because so it was just so for me that like there was a big process. It was really funny because I was very, very devout then. I was very devout at that point in time. So I didn't understand why I would feel compelled to make stuff up, and I didn't understand why, because I was compelled to make stuff up, why they got so excited because I was making stuff up, and I couldn't say to them, because I saw how excited they were. I couldn't say to them, hey guys, I was just making that up, you know. So it really was this weird. So I found myself at like 8 or 9 or 10 years old. I remember I was a kid though. I found myself in this really weird position where I was like, how do I negotiate this strange circumstance, you know? And I realized that it's entirely possible that so that was one of the moments where I started like really paying attention. But it's really funny. But how I walked away from my faith was this, and I still subscribe to this. And the thing is, and I still believe if there is a God, whether he might be the God that, which is so funny, the God that the Jews believe in, that the Muslims believe in, and the Christians believe in, they all believe in the same God, and they've just been fucking killing each other for fucking millennia. They all believe in the same God, and they're just like, I'll kick you, like crazy. Amen, Volgacho. Yeah, amen. But all right, so if there is if there is a God, and if it is that God, like I'm 100% certain that when I die, I'm like we'll just be high fiving and be like, hey man, let's hang out. That'll be it. So I mean, it is, they all kind of rocked, they all kind of like equate down to like Abraham's God, right? So the thing is like, so it's like certainly because they all have Abraham as an antecedent, you know. So about this fear and love duality, did you see the documentary about this maybe 7-year-old girl who grown up being abused by her parents? She was so hateful, she tortured and hurt her little brother, and seems to have no remorse about it at all. The authorities had her moved to another family, and they showed this little girl much love, and she stopped with her destructive behavior and started feeling bad for what she had done. That's crazy, man. That's actually really, really crazy. Anyway, but I'm not. This is not a theology. This is not a theology thing for me. I haven't paid attention. I used to. Had we had this conversation 25 years ago, I would have been able to quote Bible and verse nonstop. I knew the Bible. I knew the Bible inside now, like literally, like I went to Christian school. I went to Catholic school as a kid. Went to Christian school up into my freshman year in high school. I had the Christian picture Bible, so it was a comic book version of the Bible that I read literally all the time. It was like one of my, and so I knew every single story. I was so fucking devout, and so when I was a junior in high school, I realized that having God watching out for me meant that I could never grow up. I could never be an adult. I could never make my own decisions and take responsibility for the decisions, because I had fucking God interfering in my life and kind of taking care of me. And so I was like, so what I did is I was like, dude, I was like, look, man, I love you. So this is the beginning of me finding my first it started with atheism, and then it moved to agnosticism. So my junior in high school, I had this conversation with God, and I was like, dude, I can't have you helping me out. I want to know that I did this on my own. I want to know that I did this by myself, you know. And I want to know that when I'm kind because I felt because it was me doing this, not because I was going to get some reward. I want to know that when I have a success, it's not because you're blessing me, but because it's due to my own efforts. The thing is, and so I was like, so I'm going to stop praying to you, which is something I did daily. So I'm going to stop praying to you. And I just want you to respect. I don't want you to interfere in my life, no matter how it goes, no matter how it turns out. I don't want you. And I never believed in Satan. So I don't want you to interfere with my life. So that was the beginning of my agnosticism. So that was the beginning of my atheism. And then in my 20s, by my mid 20s, I was an atheist. And then by my mid 30s, I realized atheism is just another religion. It requires a level of faith and a level of conviction that I don't have because I don't have the evidence to support it. So now I just don't care. I'm not even like an agnostic. Like I'm not even an agnostic from the sense of I just don't care. I don't like. It's too immaterial. I've got so much shit on my plate. Taking care of my dog, figuring out a way to survive with my music, finding someone to love me and for me to love full tilt. Like the thing is these are material things in my life that are very important to me. Everything else can just take a fucking backseat. The thing is I care about God the same way I care about the fact that there is some Nipples, China, the Nipples, China, the village of Nipples, China. I believe in that in the same way I believe in God. Maybe it exists. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So, My Sunday school tried cool Bibles when I was in middle school. It literally said, "The Lord is my speedboat." Hey, that's awesome. And the second I read, I said, "The Lord is my speedboat." That's awesome. Nipples, yeah. Who doesn't love Nipples, China? There's one difference. It's up to someone who claims something to prove it, not for you to show proof of the opposite. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So no. So from my perspective, I don't ever want to disparage. If you believe and it brings you solace and it brings you joy and it fills you up and you feel community, then fucking by all means, grab onto that and hold on to it. The thing is that's awesome. That's awesome. So the way I got to where my perspective was is because I wanted to lead a life where I was good, not because I was going to be rewarded, but because I was good, because that was the way to be, So that led me to where I am right now. And so if there is a God, at the end of my days, I show up and there's a God, hey man, we'll talk it out, and literally if he says, well, I did put in the rules there, the Bible, the word of God, and there's the rules, and you didn't believe in me, and you got to go. The thing is all right, adios, man, and you lost a good one, because I'm a good one, I'm a good, kind person. So if that's the case, odele, and then. There is no Nipples, China. Yeah, that's in 1997. Oh shit! When everyone decided to move away for their there were no purges. That's so sad. That's right. About community. I would rather live my life as if there is a God and die to find out there isn't, than live as if there isn't and die to find out there is. Yeah, and that's a totally. That's for me that's a backwards, from my perspective, that's a backwards way to think about it, right? Because then what you're doing is you're looking at it from the perspective of an ultimate reward. And the thing is if you're living for rewards, are you really living? If they're just being alive and being kind and doing the things, if that doesn't give you enough excitement, then are you really living? Are you really seeing the joy that life is giving you, or are you just waiting? Are you just sitting at a doorstep waiting to be let in? And the thing is that for me, and again, I'm not G Master Pro. I'm not G Master P90. Sorry, I'm not saying I'm right. Camus is a fucking. I love Camus. He's Stranger's a great fucking one of my favorite books, but. But the thing is, but even so, it's just a differing opinions, and for me, I know that my time is super limited. And so I want to spend it living the life that brings me as much fulfillment as possible. And so my whole life has been geared towards that, and so, yeah. Scroll up and read about my near-death experiences. Okay, so hold on. So and let me see. Yikes! Same was done to me. Because Paper Cat was saying he was baptized. Yeah, 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 that's, that's again, I definitely see that, like, if you're like, particularly parents, like if you're our age or my age, it was very rare that parents really saw you as anything but an extension of themselves, right? So there was my mom was an exception because she did actively try to let us be who we were. She didn't try to mold us into being copies of herself. But we were outliers. Like I had a lot of friends who really didn't have a chance to like say, this is what I want, because their parents were like, this is who you are. This is what we're going to do. So like, and maybe that's really tough. I don't really have a lot of friends who have kids who let me in on their parenting process, except for my family members who have basically taken what my mom taught us, taking all the best bits and remove the rest, So and of course my nieces are geniuses, ultra geniuses, and fucking absolutely amazing and beautiful. Like they're effectively perfect representations of human beings. So, okay, wait, all right. So what's Spiritum said? Scroll up and I've also been in a dark room with no light, and a figure appeared in the room that was darker than the darkness that was in the room. No explanation. So okay, wait, so how does that work, Spiritum? Like you were physically in a dark room with no light, and a figure appeared in the room that was darker than the darkness that was in the room. No explanation. Is that physically that happened? Okay, so yeah, okay, so we can't. I do want to move on. Like I don't want this whole conversation to be a theological one. I do like it, but I'm trying to convince a female streamer that is online now to visit your channel and hear one of your songs. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to happen today. My voice is shot, man. I don't see it, Spiritum. Can you find it? Can you find it and just repost it? Can you copy and repost it? Because I am trying to keep everybody here entertained to last. So, oh yeah, no, of course, Zoe. Yeah, it is. Are you 7 hours ahead or 6 hours ahead? So it's either 2:41 in the morning, or it is almost it's either 2:41 or 1:41. But yeah. All right, I almost died 2 times, and both times I was saved by someone I can't explain. First time, I fell from a roof in a barn, and a hand suddenly dragged my hands toward a plank that I held onto, and I managed to drag myself up. Under me was a machine that had huge spikes that was spewed through. Second time I was on a pier and fell into the water, and I was surrounded by darkness, and something guided my hand towards a chain and then pulled me out. My dad pulled me out. Okay. So unfortunately the thing is that I can't explain that. But the thing is, because it didn't happen to me, I can't use that as proof, right? The thing is, like unfortunately, I'm also solipsist. Like I have a real heavy solipsistic perspective. Like I need to experience it for me to recognize that it like, yeah. So I would have to have that experience for me to change my considering, my consideration rather. Grew up with hella strict helicopter parents, so that was fun. My mother still hasn't accepted the fact that I'm an adult now. So it seems, and the thing is, it seems to come from her own personal issues. Yeah, and again, man, I know, and thank you, Paradox. I feel, the thing is like I didn't experience that because my mom was a single mom of 5 kids, and we were, and so she was working when she got home. She was exhausted from being at work. We all, I mean, to a large degree, it was our being raised was a collaboration between my mom and us. Mike thinks we don't exist. We're all a product of his head. No, yeah, I mean that's entirely possible. I'm not ruling that out, plebe. And so it is in all of your best interest to keep me alive. That's all I'm saying. It is in your best interest to make sure that I survive just in case when I go, y'all go. No, that's ridiculous. The dark figure was something me and a friend saw in a room that was dark because there was no power, and it appeared in the room in front of me. Both saw it, didn't do anything, just showed itself. Yeah. I don't know, man. The thing is, I can't like that kind of stuff. I've had friends that have told me told me ghost stories, and I've had so this is what and I've had friends that have done Ouija boards, and the thing's fucking flying around, and I'm like okay, let me try it. I put my hand on it, nothing. Like we're all on it. Like there's 3 of us on it, and nothing happens. I'm just sitting there like I'm so open. I'm so like maybe I'm a big anti weirdness magnet. Maybe life just operates the way it's always operated for me. Maybe I don't know, but I've never experienced anything supernatural. I do experience miracles every single fucking day. Every day I see miracles. I walk outside, I look around, sky's a miracle, fucking trees are miracles, squirrels are miracles, my dog is a fucking miracle. I do lead this very spiritual life. I'm surrounded by miracles all the fucking time. But unfortunately, those miracles don't deviate beyond what I can actually explain, or not even explain. I can't explain that. I don't know how that works. It's obviously some weird attraction. I'm figuring it's love. I'm thinking that what makes this do that is love, but maybe not. I don't know. But I just like to describe anything that's cool. I like to and then wouldn't that be great? Anybody that jumps to their death, they're not actually they're just being hugged by the earth. Like you jump out of a building and the earth is like, you come here, buddy, just come here. I'm gonna give you a big hug, right? Isn't that great? Isn't that so much better? Yeah. No, you're right. You're right, Summer Force. You are right. And the thing is, yeah, and that's exactly, and that's my thing. Is like in the same way that I had to decide at some point in time, I had to decide I could either be a multidisciplinary artist or I could focus on music. So my music, if I focus on music, my music will get dramatically better, but all my other art forms will fall apart. And that's and I decided I just want to be the best musician I possibly can. I want to be the best songwriter I possibly can. So and so everything else I had to let go. And so now I'm not going to be an expert on those things, and I'm not going to really worry about them. Like I'm not going to I don't write prose anymore. So my facility with the English language on paper has been slowed down pretty significantly. But because I still use words, and I write lyrics, I still have a reasonable facility with them. And then because I do this all the time, that also keeps my brain operating. Yeah. That's gravity's like, dude, it's not a hug. I'm killing them. I don't like people that much. That's why I bring them to me. I kill them. And you're fucking really freaking me out talking about love. Sure, gravity. Sure, dude. That reminds me when I went to Palm Beach last year. Oh yeah, and that's I mean, but again, why do you go to Palm Reader, right? The thing is you want to go to hear things that make you feel good. You want to be like, oh, that's like they're just little hope machines. Like they say, oh, they talk to you a little bit and hang out. Anyway, I mean, if they're good, the good ones are. Let's see. So hold on. That reminds me when I for many years forgot that I was almost drowned as a kid. It was kind of interesting though, because the lack of oxygen made me hallucinate. My kid brain just thought, oh, these are cool. I want to play one of those when I stop drowning. I don't know, but I knew I'd survive. Some old lady pulled me up, and only years later I realized how of course that's crazy, man. A fact is we are restrained to this rock by force. Yeah. I mean, that is, and which is awesome, right? I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing that really fucking turns me on, right? Like, there's so much about this and us and you and I, and fuck the fact that energy can't be created or destroyed. Really? So all of this is just like the shit that's like the lights and what makes me, like all this stuff is like has just been around since the beginning. So how did that? So there was that much. So the Big Bang happened. Like, so if you believe in the Big Bang, like really, like all of that and that amount, this gigantic amount of energy was like. So anyway, so I don't even care about that. Okay, yes, the red shift, and yes, we're all flying apart, and so that does suggest that we all start at the same point. I totally get that. I'm willing to subscribe to that. Or at least I'm willing to subscribe because that's the scientific consensus, and I think scientists care a lot more about science than I do. That all right, so that's what we all believe right now. That's totally cool. But the thing is, like, really, all this fucking energy was just all so. But I don't care. It doesn't affect my life materially. I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm just going to focus on the things I do care about, though. No, and of course, I know that spirit. In fact, I was one of those. I was one of those when I was like merging Christianity and evolution together is not that difficult. As soon as you can divorce yourself from the idea that the entire Bible is all literally truth. The thing is that yes, Genesis has stories that do offer an insight into the way like the way humans are in human development, but the idea that is actually how human beings started is, from my perspective, really silly, But again, I don't. If you believe in it, I'm not disparaging you at all. Like more power to you. Thank God this planet Earth is a panoply of perspectives. You don't need to subscribe to mine. In fact, I beg you don't subscribe to mine, because mine's very difficult. Like the way I negotiate this world has been a real fucking pain in my ass, But that's all I can do. Oh, and I fucking hate black licorice. I have family members that love it, so which is great. So we would go to jelly beans Easter. I would get I end up with a bunch of black licorice at the end. Like I'd eat everything but the black licorice, and I'd be like, here you go. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, I can't say it. As a snake in the garden. Yeah. Okay. Well, good. Yeah. That's. Yeah, man. Right. Yeah. This is a lot of fun. Again, I definitely think we should move on to something else because, yeah. And thank you, Wicked Truth. Right. Yeah. Thank you very kindly. Yeah. It's funny. My personal philosophy is one I spend a lot of time thinking about. Like I really do. I'm constantly introspecting. I'm constantly checking in with myself. I'm constantly like, okay, this thing happened that doesn't fit into any one of your particular, your particular prescriptions for how to operate with the world, or how to deal with the world. What do you do now? And so it's always a work in progress. It's always a work in progress. But yeah, no, yeah, and so now hold on. I do have to say, I will eat black licorice, and sometimes I will actually crave black licorice. So it was such a intense, regular thing in my childhood years that I kind of burnt down on it. I don't seek it out. Except when I crave it. But the thing is that like, but if someone, but like, I like Sambuca. I couldn't drink Sambuca regularly, but if someone's like, hey, let's do a shot of let's put a little coffee bean in here and do a shot of Sambuca. Fuck yeah. That's great. Like, I don't despise the flavor. It's just for me, I'm a little burnt down on it, so, marzipan. Oh, that's actually a good one. Marzipan's another one that I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll have some marzipan, and then about like I can do like 3 or 4 bites of marzipan and be like, that's delicious, and then anything past that, I'm like this is really annoying me. Like, yeah, it's just another one. It's like licorice. It's another one of those that starts to grate pretty quickly for me, But again, but sometimes that totally changes. Like what's it? Dulce de leche. Like that too. Like it depends on the kind of dulce de leche. Like or dulce de like is dulce is it anyway, whatever that stuff is. Like sometimes I'm like, fucking hell yeah, give me it till I can fucking eat it no more. And then other times I'm like, get that away from me. So whatever, man. I like my taste buds are fucking nuts. In fact, what was it? Oh yeah. So cilantro, dulce de leche. Okay, thank you, Lenina. Yeah, because I was like dolce was I was saying that as in Italian, dulce de leche. Yeah. So cilantro used to you put a little tiny sprig of cilantro in anything I ate. And that was the only flavor I would taste. I fucking hated cilantro. And then like 38 years old rolled up, and I'm eating a taco. I'm like, this is delicious. And I go, motherfucker, I told him, and I always said, no cilantro, please, no cilantro. I'm like, this is great. And I'm like, motherfucker, there's cilantro. I don't taste cilantro. My taste buds just changed. Now cilantro does not bother me at all. It used to fucking destroy anything I was put in. It overpowered the flavor of everything. And then for some reason, my brain, my taste buds are like, fuck it, we don't mind cilantro anymore. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks guys. That makes it a lot easier. I always felt like the fucking asshole. Like, oh yeah, and by the way, I know a Mexican restaurant that's selling me tacos, fucking, like Mexican style tacos. Yeah, no cilantro. Yeah, it was for the first like 38 years of my life, Fogaccio. It was really, really, really potent. Like it overpowered everything, and it started to, and me too, Wicked Truth. So it tasted like soap, and it was super powerful, and then that changed, and now I don't even taste it. I don't taste it at all, So well, that's not so. When there's a ton of cilantro in it, I do taste it, but it's no longer an abhorrent flavor for me, So. Oh, no worries. Well, you'll get better. This is a learning process for all of us, G Master P90. So yeah, don't worry. We'll all get there eventually. We'll all get there together. All right, I'm gonna go run downstairs and pee, and I'm gonna refresh my drink. You guys keep talking amongst yourselves. The soundboard is on, so if you want to make some sounds, you're totally welcome to. And I'll be right back. If you want, I can put on some music. There you go. All right, adios. Back here.
Hazelnut, cashew nut, macadamia nut. That was the one that was sent her into going crazy. She said, "You stop naming nuts." Pine nut, pistachio nut, red pistachio nut, natural, all natural white pistachio nut.
Janet!
Dr. Scott!
Janet!
Fred!
Rooker! Janet!
Dr. Scott!
Janet!
Fred!
Rooker! Janet!
Dr. Scott!
Janet!
Fred!
Rooker! Listen, I made you, and I can break you just as easily.
Birthday corn, the birthday gift, first year, and the poopity corn.
All right, I'm back. What are we doing? Okay, so all right, so semaphores regulars in this sense means been oh yeah, and then there's oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and so yeah, if you were to do a world tour, what place would you want to visit? I've toured. Well, I've played in Europe. I've played in the U.S. I've played in Canada. I played in Mexico. Any place. I want when I tour next, I'd like to play all those places again. I'd like to play more places in Europe because I did a week of streaming in the Netherlands, and then I just picked to play the UK a bunch, and that was it. Hey, Kanon, how you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. So it's funny. I really, for me, I mean, I love traveling. I love traveling. I love seeing new places. Unfortunately, when you're on tour, you don't really get a chance to explore a city. So it's mostly like you show up, you find like. So for me, like I have favorite venues, and I have favorite skylines. Like Toronto. All right. So first, let me say this. So if you're not Canadian, if you're an American and you've never been to Canada, you really must, at some point in time in your life, you must drive from the United States into Canada, because one of the things you'll notice, one of the first things you'll notice is as you're driving, we're driving along, is there's no fucking litter. Like, at least, I forgot to look for that on my way to Vancouver last time, but which was the last time I was in Canada. We played actually in Vancouver, but I do recall that we were driving, we went through Niagara Falls. We were heading on our way to Toronto, and we literally crossed over, we drove, all right. So first off, they wouldn't let us, oh wait, okay, wait, so what's it, so dude, I was so excited to travel in June. Oh yes, I know. Yeah, me too. Yeah. In fact, that's, anyway, so, well, all right. I won't get distracted. Let me talk about this. So anyway, before we can even cross into Toronto, we get stopped at the at customs, and they're like, what's your reason for showing up? And we're like, we're playing a show in Toronto. And they're like, oh, you guys are a band. And I didn't realize that that's not, like, the thing is, one of the great things about Canada is they really protect the shit out of their art. Like I remember that from working in animation. Like, they really do, like if you do a Canadian co-production, a certain number of the animators working on that show have to be Canadian. It has to be a significant number. And a lot of the key roles, it's not even the number of people working on it. It has to be certain key roles. Otherwise you don't get the Canadian co-production dollars. So just really, really cool way that they treat their artists, unlike the US where they're like, fuck you, get out of our fucking faces, we hope you die, there'll be another 100 artists right behind you the moment you're dead, so yeah, amen. No, of course, Elix, but I love it. I mean, I absolutely love it. So we show up and we're like, oh, we're a band. Not now. Of course, I had spent 10 years working in the film and TV industry. I knew Canada was like this. I didn't realize they were also like that with bands. So they're like, oh, we can't let you in. And I'm like, what? Why not? they're like, yeah. We don't who are you? I'm like, we're Get Set Go. They're like, yeah, sorry, never heard of you. Can't let you in. I'm like, what do you mean? So it turns out, eventually it comes out that we're the headliners. And they're like, oh, you're the headliners. Oh, and they look, and there's like 4 other Canadian bands. So we're the headliners, and there's 4 Canadian bands in front of us. And they're like, oh, you guys should have said that from the beginning. And I'm like, well, I didn't know. I didn't know what to say. I was just telling them we were playing a show. So they're like, well, then yeah, of course you guys. And he explained, he's like, because you're bringing business to Canada, and you're helping expose our Canadian bands. So of course we want you in here. I'm like, all right, thanks for letting me know. Now I know. All right, thank you guys. And so it was so funny. Once they hopped on the website and saw that Get Set Go was listed as the main band for the night, like we would Get Set Go and then all the supporting acts. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like he literally changed from like very contrarian and very aggressive to like, oh no, oh of course, oh it's your Get Set Go. Come on in, guys. So all right, so we cross in, so we're driving, and we suddenly look and we're like, there's no litter anywhere on these freeways. It was just pristine freeways. There's not like it was, and so we're driving along. We're like, this is fucking amazing. So then we were playing the very next day, right? So we were gonna spend one night. We were gonna spend one night in Canada on our way to Toronto, and then the next day we were gonna stop back at we're going to do the same hotel. So anyway, so we pull into this. It's a Motel 6. It's a Motel 6 somewhere on whatever freeway is that from Viagra Falls. Viagra Falls. Who doesn't love a good Viagra Falls? So from Niagara Falls to Toronto, whatever that freeway is, there's a Motel 6 there, and it's a fucking palace. It's a fucking palace. So we literally hop out and we're like, oh, this is great. And we walk inside and we're like, this is a fucking motel. Like it was beautiful, and it was just it was anyway. So it was amazing. So we like, and of course, but still the rooms were cheap, and so we go on in. I'm like, this is amazing, you know, and so all right, so which is totally fine. So then we hop in the car. We get all the way to Toronto. As we are pulling into Toronto, now again, there's no fucking litter on the freeways at all. We're like, what the fuck, like. So and this does pay off. This does pay off. So we're driving along and we're showing up at sunset. Like and it was like, I think it was like March. I think it was March when we were on this tour. It might have been April, but it was like it was, we were still kind of in like, it was still like sun was still setting like 6 o'clock, 6:30, something like that. So there's like a, you know, the sun's in the west. So there's just beautiful golden lighting, and Toronto is just the most fucking beautiful city. It literally looked like Oz. And as we're pulling up, we're like, oh my God, it was so beautiful. So we pull in, we find the venue, we get loaded out, and we're like, all right, we get loaded out, we do our sound check, and then we're like, all right, we need to go eat some food. So we got to find some food. Now this is the most amazing. This is for me like everything. This is like the most amazing. Like this like put the pin on this whole trip up, right? So of course there were homeless people, and they're occasionally asking for money. And if I had singles, I always keep my singles for homeless people. So hey man, so some guy asked me for money, and I don't have any money, and I'm so sorry, man. Like I ran out of singles, otherwise I'd hook you up. And he's like, hey, he's like don't sweat it. And then some yuppie cocktwat was eating something and just threw his wrapper on the ground, right? So and the homeless guy that I'm talking to, like he goes, hey, he walks away and he goes, hey, and he starts screaming at this guy, and he's like, hey dude, this is fucking litter, man. He's like, look at this. And he picks it up, he's like, look at this, what are you doing? Like, there's a trash can right here. And so this homeless guy is literally lecturing this fucking yuppie guy on the fact that you don't fucking litter in my fucking city. And he's like, and he puts it in the trash. He's like, there you go, that's all you need to do, dude. The guy's like, and the yuppie guy's, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like runs away. I'm like, that's so fucking epic. Like, yes. I was like, I've never seen a fucking homeless guy. He's like, yeah, like, oh, it's just so awesome. It was just, so we were like, all right, we love Toronto. I mean, except for the fact that it snows. It gets so freezing you have to fucking walk in underground tunnels to get anywhere. But other than that, I love Toronto. Hey, Music City. Hey, Music City TV. Hey, my brother. The TV family, strong and abiding. How are you guys doing? Yeah, and undercover litter cop. Yes, amen. So for the Raiders, hey guys. So I'm Mike TV. I normally play music. My voice is shot. I've been singing for since 2 weeks ago Friday. I've been singing kind of full tilt every single day. My voice is shot. Like I've been singing multiple hours every single day. So rather than not stream, I decided I was just going to do like a kind of like Q&A session, hanging out and shooting the shit and us waxing poetic. So we've had conversations on pets. We've had conversations on religion. And then right now we were talking about, what was the thing that led the conversation to me talking about Toronto? Because I was gonna bring it back, and I don't even remember now. What was the question that got the whole thing up and running? Fuck. Oh yeah, and I'm now probably about 6 ounces of vodka in. Oh yeah, you're right. So no, in fact, so yeah, that's right. It was touring in Canada because the request was where would I like to tour and so so it's really funny. I love travel. I love being in new places. I love getting to know new cities. I love finding venues. I really, really like showing up at a venue. So Get Set Go is always exceedingly punctual. We get to places an hour before our call time, always. So we can just get comfortable with where we're at and just kind of get a feel for the lay of the land. We are exceptionally punctual. So but one thing I love is taking that extra time to kind of like hang out and just get to know the bartenders and get to know the sound people and just ingratiate ourselves and be friendly and be like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, cause I've been a music professional for 26 years. I like it's a sort of thankless life unless people are cool with you, you know, like, and so I like just shooting the shit and hanging out. And so for me, anywhere, I love traveling to different countries. I particularly love running across people. Like, I'm one of those shitty Americans that speaks no other, like, I can speak travel Spanish, and that's it. You know, cuánto cuesta? You know, like how much do you like I can be like, hey dude, I can ask people in German, Entschuldigung, which is excuse me, sprechen Sie Deutsch, or sprechen Sie English, and then if they go no, they go, all right, adios, you know. So I'm you know. Oh, thank you, Vogacho. Yeah. So 6 ounces is no, it's actually more than 6 ounces. It's 3. I have 3 drinks in me, and I haven't yet eaten dinner. So I've had 4.5, maybe 5 ounces of vodka. So no, because it's 1.5, 3, 4. Yeah. So I've had 6. Yeah. So I've had 4 drinks, and thank you. But yeah, I'm trying. All right. So what we're saying. So yeah, so I just like to, I like to play places where people are excited to have us. So any place where I can draw, if I can draw 15 people anywhere in the world that want to see me and know my music and like to request songs and like I will play for them for as long as they want, as long as the venue's cool with it. I will play a 3 or 4 hour show. If there are 5 people in the audience that really love my band, I will play for them for 3 or 4 hours. Full tilt without like the thing is that's the thing is like, because for me it's still a miracle. I've been doing this for a long time. It's still a miracle when people dig my stuff. You know, I'm like really, you really like my, oh my God, are you kidding me? So yeah, so I just yeah. So for anywhere in the world, I really do love travel. I really like I hate the I hate traveling with minimal funds, which is when I did my last tour. I was on the road for 3 months, and there were some times while I was on the road where I actually had to do live streams where I was like, I need to do some fundraising right now, or I will not be able to get to my next my next stop, my next venue. So that's always really tough. But you know, I was maintaining this place while I was on tour, so I was paying all my bills that I normally pay here, and also paying, you know, plane flights, train flights, like it was just, yeah. So it was, you know, but thank God, you know, you guys came through, so which is awesome, and I will owe you forever and always. Okay, so let's find. So what are we talking about next? And let me deal with this light. Is that a little better? Yeah, it's a little better. I remember this so much. I've seen my husband play to a room like me and the staff and 2 others. Yeah, no. I mean, all right. So and I got a great story about that. All right. So I had so all of the cool indie rock venues in Los Angeles. When I was a promoter and Get Set Go was very, very active and this point in time. So I would play. My band would play 1 to 3 shows every single week, 52 weeks out of the year, unless we were on tour. So we were always playing in LA. And I was also promoting shows. I was putting on shows. I was promoting. I had weekly residencies at Mr. T's Bowl, which I had 3 at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I also had one at Toppers and Eagle Rock. I converted the Billiard Inn on the west side of LA to the Good Hurt. And I had Saturday nights at the Good Hurt. I also put on regular shows at the Knitting Factory, at Spaceland, and a handful the Key Club, and a handful of other venues. So yeah, so I was just I had scores and scores and scores of bands doing stuff, you know, like and keeping a lot of people playing. So occasionally I would get these venues would reach out to me and be like, "Hey Mike, our bill fell through for tonight. Can you put something together for us on short notice?" Of course I can. Let me see what I can do. So one time I put together a show, like it was super late notice. It was like maybe 4 PM. We needed to find like, can you put together like 2 bands for us, just so the people that show up, there's something happening on stage. So I'm like, yeah, of course. Let me see what I can do. So I reached out to my friends in the band Bang Sugar Bang. Amazing band, real genuine sweethearts. If you don't know the band, look them up on Spotify. Listen to the Machine Gun song. Listen to the album's called Thwack Thwack. Just punch through some of the tracks on Thwack Thwack. A Major Label Interest is a fucking amazing song. They're a fun kind of like the band X. They're kind of in that vein, but I think they're even dramatically better than X. They're just a fucking awesome band. So they show up, and so I'm like, hey guys, can you guys fill in a slot for Spaceland? I'm fairly certain Jen, the booker, will give you I'll let him know that you're doing this last minute, or I'll let her know you're doing this last minute, and I'm certain she'll give you some favored nation stuff the next time you want to book a show at Spaceland. So they're like, yeah, of course we'll do it. So they show up, they load in all their stuff. They're a 3-piece at this point. I think they've always been a 3-piece, but so they show up. Maybe they were a 4-piece for a little while, but anyway, so they show up. They get all their stuff loaded in. There's no one in the audience because they have had no chance to promote it. They play every single week. So they were the impresarios of a club called Kiss or Kill, which became a huge thing in LA for a number of years. So they were the bookers and impresarios of Kiss or Kill. So they didn't have a chance to promote it. So they show up and there's no one there. Like literally no. Like they sent out some email blast and whatever, and but no one showed up. There's just one guy in the audience, and they literally play their fucking hearts out for this guy. So they're like, all right, let's just fucking rock this guy out. Let's fucking rock this guy out. So they did. They fucking played with their hearts. They played fucking as hard as they ever and they were a raucous, crazy, awesome rock and roll band, you know. And so they played like fucking maniacs. And that guy was the music supervisor for. I want to some network show, right? So the music supervisor, like his fucking job. No, they had no idea. It was just this one guy, and they're like, let's fucking rock this guy's world. It's just us and him. Let's fucking rock this guy's world. And so that guy's jaw was on the fucking floor. He's like, they fucking delivered a full on fucking rock and roll set. And they wrote listen to Thwack Thwack. Just scroll through some of the songs. I mean, just like listen to like 30 seconds and then move on, or listen to the first chorus of a bunch of them. It's a fucking amazing record. So they just played their fucking hearts out for that guy. Turns out he was a music supervisor and he licensed one of their songs, and it was like a pretty substantial license. It was a network show, and yeah, and they're still making royalties from it to this day. So that is exactly so 9 to 12. Like you never ever phone in a performance. If you do, you will pay the price. If you treat, even if you're just playing for the fucking sound guy, play the bang sugar bang. Here you go. Hold on. And they actually have a new album that's about to come out, and it's fucking and I guarantee you it's gonna be amazing. Like they're just big. They're big lovers of music, and they're big lovers of bands, and they're fucking genuinely awesome people. So yeah, and the original lineup is got together for this new record. So that's super exciting. Okay. Well, okay. So that's a very all right, sorry, fuck it. So this person I've been hanging out with, awesome. Yeah. It's fucking great. It's great, Lydia. You're gonna fucking love it. It's super amazing. The Machine Gun song is awesome. Major Label Interest. Major Label Interest is a song that I would fucking pogo to. I would literally pogo so high that I would get so fucking in the air. So I had a 3-foot vertical, so that was my normal. So I was jumping like 3 foot, like literally, no joke. I'm not like I wish I had friends here that could corroborate this. The thing is, I pogoed every single night, 5 or 6 nights a week, for hours. When the show started, I would start pogoing, and I'd go all the way until the show was over. I would just pogo and I would be right in front of the bands. So I had a fucking, but when Major Label Interest happened, I would literally get so high that I would think I was about to hit the ground. I would wag my feet and then I'd hit. So I'd be like motherfucker, and I would notice, like, people would eventually get accustomed to me jumping ridiculously high, and then Major Label Interest would happen, and then they'd be like, this guy's fucking flying, you know. Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous, you know. So, here's look at this. All right, so this is the way I used to pogo. So I would do pigeon toes, and I would jump like this, and I would just jump nonstop with pigeon toes. So my friends in Ozma, if you know the band Ozma, they opened for Weezer. They toured with Weezer. They do the Weezer cruise. My friends in Ozma made a video called "Spending Time in the Borderline." Here, I'll do this. And you and they talk about in the second verse, they talk about Mr. T's bowl, and on the video they literally have me, or they have someone playing me with my Converse All Stars, which I've worn like literally since I was 12, like jumping up just to like pay tribute to me being right in the front row. I was always in front, just supporting the bands. Like even if there was no one, even if they didn't know anybody, I would be right there, right in front of the band, just supporting them. Oh yeah, Vulgacho, thank you. Oh no, amen, absolutely. You be well, brother, and hopefully we see you again. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. Really, it was a real pleasure to make your acquaintance. And so here, but spending time on the borderline, and then Ozma. So there you go. So the band's called Ozma. The song's called "Spending Time on the Borderline." And yeah, if you watch the video, it's a fucking really. It was done on a super cheap. My buddy Dylan, Dylan did the artwork for "Ordinary World," "Selling Out and Going Home," and "Sunshine, Joy, and Happiness." So if you know those 3 records, he did all the art for it. I mean, he and I collaborated on what we wanted to do for the art, but like he was a guy that put it all together. He's a fucking. He actually works for. He works for one of the big crime show, like one of the big like Law and Order, but not Law and Order. So one like CSI or CIS or CSI or whatever, CSI. And he does like all the like prop stuff, like he does all the like signage and stuff like that. So he's really really great at like manipulating images and making them look like legit. So but he actually made that video. So it's just really really cool, man. All right, what are we talking about now? What were we talking about? All right, so I do have to say I haven't eaten yet. I haven't eaten today. I mean, I have eaten. I had chili cheese dogs, but I haven't had any actual food this evening. So, I have 6, and this is another 4. So like I've got 10. I'll have 10 ounces of vodka, which is like 6. So this is my last drink for the night, but it's still a lot of booze. So. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I love Shonen Knife. I could do that. Yeah, amen. Yeah, cup of vodka. But I did. Yeah, I mean, I did start drinking 2.5 hours ago, so that's not bad. I'm just drinking vodka and water. I used to go for mixers, but like it's just a pain in the ass. You drink half a bottle of gin last night. Oh wow, yeah, good for you. I do love Funyuns. Man, Funyuns are my go-to. Like my go-to are the classic nacho cheese Doritos and Funyuns. Like that's like I'll be like occasionally barbecue chips. Like the Lay's barbecue. Occasionally I'll be like I'm gonna do some barbecue, but like those 3, I've literally been eating those 3 chips for 1,000 years. You know, I'm like, all right, what do I want? There's a million different options. I'll just do Funyuns. You know, I'll just do the classic Doritos. You know, hell yeah, man. Right on, Elix. Orale, man. Yeah. So cheers, guys. Thank you. I do have to say thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you. Like, you know, I was really like I wanted to hang out. Like you guys are a big part of my COVID survival, you know, like survival, like a approach, strategy, survival strategies with the word I'm looking for. And yeah, so thank you for hanging out. Like I was like, I can't play songs because my voice is shot. I mean, I can't play any instrumentals, you know, things like, I mean, I do write and record instrumentals, but yeah, you are my vaccine. Yes. So thank you for hanging out. And I fucking love you guys with all my heart. So, yeah, and it's been fun, right? It's nice to like, thank you 912. Yeah. I do have to say that 100% is because I do think, I don't want to talk too much about it because this is something I'm going to keep private until like so at some point in time I will bring her on the stream and then I'll introduce you guys and then it will be official. But yeah. I think I am kind of falling in love, and that's always fun. That's always super exciting. And so yeah. So that's great. And it's been like a slow burn. It's been a slow burn over a significant amount of time. But yeah. So that's really nice. Thank you, Wicked Truth. So yeah. So Thank you, 7-4. And so to answer who it was the Lily who was it asked what the new songs are about. Like so I've been hey thank you, Lenina. And so all of those songs that I was like, oh, I'm writing love songs. So like they're actually written for somebody, but I just didn't like, again, like I'm being very cautious, because the thing is that like I just, I've been in this position, like, I mean, right now everything is fucking amazing, and it's so amazing that it's scaring me. Like I'm like, obviously like one or both of us are going to contract COVID, or there's going to be a horrible car accident, or there's going to be lightning storms that like kill yeah. Well, yeah, thank you, Lenita. Yeah. So anyway, whenever it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little while, and then I'm certain I will bring her here and introduce you guys. And so it's 8:24 p.m. where I'm at. So and she is tied up in my basement. Yeah. That's the only way. Well, yeah. Hey, random hero. Hey, that's a great handle, by the way, amigo. And it's funny. It's funny because I always write when I'm emotionally neutral. The thing is it, but you're right. The thing is it because. Like, so because I have this has been a very, particularly, usually in the beginning days of a relationship, there are red flags, like I will run across behaviors and resistances and things like that, where I'm like, okay, I need to address this. I need to figure all right. So I love full tilt. Like I'm like, you're amazing, and I want to spend literally as much time with you as I possibly can. Like that's the way I operate with everybody, right? So if I run across a friend and I'm like, hey man, how you doing? And we go and we have a great time. I'm like, let's do this again tomorrow. Like because I don't have an off switch. Like I just go, and I'm a hedonist. I'm literally a classic. Your textbook, like you look in the dictionary. Look, hedonist, there's my picture. Hey, this is me. I pursue pleasure. I pursue joy. I pursue love. Pleasure, joy, and love. Those three things, give me them. So normally I, in an early relationship, I run across like these red flags, and I go, oh, I don't fucking care, But yeah, amen, right? Yeah, and amen, Kenan. And the thing is, and this just happens to be a relationship that thus far has no red flags, and B, as it accelerates, it's just becoming more and more like I mean we have literally spent like on like Saturdays when I'm not working, like literally from the moment I get up in the morning to the moment I go to bed at night, the entire day together, and no arguments, and just silliness and awesome and fun, and then yeah, well, that's like. I feel I have definitely dealt with long distance relationships, Lily, and yeah, they're tough. But the thing is but if you love, you love, like love. Again, we can't spend a lot of time. We can't spend, there's still COVID stuff happening, and there's still like so it's like it's not like anyway. But regardless, we still spend a lot of time together. Like we spend a huge amount of time, and actually an inordinate amount of time together online. But that's fine. Like that's totally fine. Hey, that's awesome. 9 to 12. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, because it's really, really great. It's and that's exactly the paradox, illusionist. Normally spending this much time with somebody usually enervates me, right? It drains me of energy. That's not the case with like. It's just been fucking super fun. It's just been super fun, and and the other thing is she makes me laugh. Like that's like she makes me laugh all the time, and that's awesome because I laugh easily. I laugh easily, but it's like clever and incisive laughter. Like I'm like what the like, and that's awesome. So anyway, so it's just been great. So yeah, and that's I do, random hero. I do think so, and so it's been great. It's been super fun. And yeah, and so that's been great. So literally all of the songs from Hanging Fire till now have been about her. So yeah, and it's been great. It's been great because COVID has added a certain degree of obstruction, and so us kind of coming up with ways to circumvent that obstruction has been awesome because we've had to be more creative about it, So anyway, so it's just super fun. Like it's been great. It's been really fun. So, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so that's that. Yeah. So, yeah. So the quarantine is actually, I do believe the quarantine has actually helped us out because I don't think that we would have been able to spend as much time together. If she was doing her regular gig and I, if she was doing a regular gig, but she's not. So yeah. So. Amen. Semaphore. And my hope. Yeah. So anyway, I'll introduce you guys very soon. Like, I don't know exactly, like, it's going to take a little while for, I think that I think she's a bit intimidated to be on camera is basically the thing. So, but maybe not. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Amen, Lenina. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So, so let's talk about something other than my love life now that you're right. You're absolutely right. And she actually does and has. And of course I have to downplay it because we don't like, in fact, I'm fairly certain that I probably should not have been talking about this. I probably shouldn't have outed this. I shouldn't have even said this. Yeah. That's certainly been like, yeah. What's her name and where does she live? So, yeah. Yeah. I know, Paper Cat. I know. Yeah. So can we move on? Yeah, can I not in my drunken state, can I not like reveal everything and then just have her be embarrassed and never want to hang out with you guys ever? So, yeah. Pineapple on pizza? Yes, no. Yeah. That's actually really funny. I actually do. I love the Hawaiian pizza. I love the Hawaiian. But it's not actually, no, I've done pepperoni and pineapple. Yeah, I like pineapple. I like sweet things. I don't crave sweet. I don't crave sweet, which is really funny. Like I'm not a big. I don't really dig. I really dig sweet things, and I do camp. Random hero. I do camp, but I like to camp with conveniences, right? So things like so I love being outdoors. I love hanging out. I love to fish. I don't unless I'm going to eat the fish. The catch and release thing is a little bit cruel for me. I've done it and it's been fine. The thing is that for me I like to be like, all right, we're gonna go find our meal, and so we catch a couple, like if it's a handful of friends, we get but no, oh yeah, but that's so. But for me, like the thing is like, but when night falls, like I hope we have a lot of booze. I hope we have like something that we can like. I hope we have s'mores or something we can do to occupy our hands and like eat some stuff and kind of like and I hope that either I'm with people where there's great conversation happening. There have been times where I've been camping with people that were like family friends. Not like my immediate family friend, like, oh, we're gonna go with so and so, aunt so and so or something. We're gonna go camping, where there's nothing, like there's no great conversation. I can't speak my mind. I have to constantly I have to police what I say because people are gonna lose their shit about and then I'm just there, and it's now dark, and I have nothing I can do other than just hang out with these people that I don't really feel comfortable being me around. That's fucking brutal. But with friends, fucking awesome. Yeah. And yes, and shrooms, I do fucking love shrooms. And I do love my favorite place, like I love to do a fuck ton of shrooms in Joshua Tree, at Jumbo Rocks in Joshua Tree, get a great campground, and then just go outside, like take a bunch of shrooms, get tripping, and then look up and just fucking have my mind blown. Put on some great music, put on some amazing music. And all right, so and I do have to say, semaphores. So shrooms can be really terrible if you're psychologically vulnerable to what shrooms does to you, and you have bad people around you. However, I have never once had a bad time on shrooms. And on top of that, the people I've been with have never once had a bad time on shrooms. Even when people were having a bad trip, I would walk out to them like, no, dude, look, hold on, look at this. And for whatever reason, I have a calming, like, hey, and look at the sky. Just watch. Hold on, look at this. Look at that star. You know, and I can train, because shrooms for me reduces me to a 5-year-old. You know, I'm a 5-year-old and everything is brand new and shiny and amazing. And I'm like, the whole world is beautiful to me. Okay, I will tell. All right, so I will tell the canine story. I will tell the apple cart story for canine. And yeah, Lenina, it's really funny. I really wish I could get like all of my friends that have never done shrooms together. I really wish I could get everybody together, find a safe place, and be like, all right, we're all gonna do some shrooms, and we're gonna trip out for like 6 hours, and it's gonna be magical because it is. And I don't know if I might be breaking Twitch's terms of service, but even so, like really, shrooms have been enjoyed by human beings for like thousands of years. So fuck you. But yeah, so this thing, I'll tell the canine. I'll tell the story that Canine was talking about. So the apple cart story. So I have a song called Apple Cart. It's going to be on my next record that's going to come out at the end of this year. And it was predicated on this story. So I used to have a friend. She lived in Pasadena. We could definitely do a CloudyCon after party with shrooms. I mean, that would actually really truthfully, that would be amazing to actually take just a portion a day of CloudyCon, like rather than doing 2 or 3 days, or maybe like have one day where it's like, okay, we're gonna get some shrooms for the whole group, or even just do tea, so it's not as intense and it's just a 2 or 3 hour high, because it's still like. Let me tell the story, and I'll talk to you about the amazing things that Shroom does for me. Yeah, it's Shroom Day. So, and can somebody explain CloudyCon while I'm telling the story? So I go to this house party where a bunch of my friends in Pasadena are, and so it's all people I know, like mostly people I know, handful of people I don't, and I share it with 2 girlfriends of mine, and they are I don't know if they're the significant. So both of these girls ended up marrying my bandmates, my original bandmates, my original Los Angeles bandmates. So Karen married Rick Vegas, the drummer, and Heather married Pat Flores, the bass player. And so, but I'm hanging out with the girls, and they were like staples. They were the only other people other than the bands that showed up at Mr. T's every single Tuesday night while the early days of the Mr. T scene was happening. So we're all hanging out, and we show up, and my friend, and I'm not going to say her name, which I almost said because I'm a little bit drunk, but I'm not going to. She walks up to me, and is the host of the party who lives at the house. She walks up to me and she goes, "Hey, I used to, and she used to be my shroom supplier, and she no longer, and so she comes up to me, she goes, "Hey, I'm no longer selling shrooms, and I just want to let you know that, but I wanted to say that I knew you're going to be here tonight, and I saved you. I just want to give you these." And it was a big bag. It was either a very big eighth or it was a quarter of shrooms. It was a huge amount of shrooms. And she's like, "I just want to give this to you. I just want to be like, just because I know, I know you're going to be heartbroken that I'm not but here's my last little goodbye gift." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much. Really? Oh, that's so great." So I turn to my friends and I go, "Hey guys, I have this gigantic bag of shrooms. Do you want to join me? Do you want to do some shrooms together, you and I?" Yeah. That's exactly. It was like this big. It was a big amount. It was a big amount. So, and so my 2 girlfriends go, "Yeah, no, of course we'd love to join you." I go, and so I turn to Karen, who's the more experienced of the 2. How much would you like? And she goes, "I'll do a cap and a stem." All right, now, sorry. So now sometimes a cap and a stem can be substantial because you can grow gigantic shrooms, but for the most part, shrooms are like these little tiny things, these little dinky things, right? So I had a big bag like this. And there was a little tiny cap and stem. So I hold the bag. I go, "A cap and a stem?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Okay." So I give her a cap and a stem, like a little, like it's like a little tiny mushroom. There's a little tiny mushroom. I have a big bag. I go, "Heather, how much would you like?" How much? Yeah, no, but it's spelled it's spelled like this. That's Karen. She's Australian. So I go, "How much?" So Heather, how much would you like? And Heather goes, "Oh, I'll have a cap and a stem too." Okay, so here's your cap and a stem. I still have a huge bag. Exactly, Nina. So I have this huge bag. So now I'm supposed to drive. I drove us here. Like the thing is like I'm not going to drive with fucking drugs in my car. We're going to be here for God knows how long. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just eat them all. I'll just eat the whole rest of the bag. And then, hopefully in 8 hours, I'll be fine. So I ate the whole bag. Of course I did. Cause that was me, Mike TV at this point in time. I give no fuck. So I ate the whole bag. So no. I've never had a bad trip my entire life. I've never had a bad. I definitely had a stroke because of drug use. So I've definitely had bad drug experiences. But anything that alters my conscience, except for weed destroys me. And I fucking literally I've tried weed 100 times. And 99 times out of every single time has fucking sent me into hysterics and literally like huddling in the corner, screaming, like crying and screaming, But however, I knew with mushrooms that I was totally fine. Mushrooms was not weed, so I'll eat them all. So I'm hanging out and I'm having a good time, and the mushrooms are starting to kick in, and I'm like, hey, and I'm starting to get a little more like a lot more fucked up, and at some point in time, and for whatever reason, because I think because I was like the impresario of Mr. T's. And a lot of people knew Mr. T's. Like the thing is, people would kind of like just take care of me. And like, so if my beer was empty and I'd be like, oh shit, my beer's empty. Someone would be like, oh, I got you covered, Mike. I'm heading there anyway. So we're hanging out. There's a fire. So it's like, it has to be like, it's some cold months because it's kind of cold out. There's a fire happening in the fireplace. And, I have fucking abused shrooms in ridiculous amounts, particularly even this time. And the thing is, and I don't have any of the weird, like I did after doing a lot of acid, I would, for weeks and sometimes months afterwards, I would look at like speckled things like this, and I would see a little bit of shifting, it would do this. Like, I don't have that anymore. So maybe I got lucky. I don't know, Paper Cat, or maybe, but anyway, So at some point in time, we're all hanging out, and I'm getting a little bit slower and a little bit less conversant, and then I noticed that there's a fire, and I noticed that there's a log burning, and I realized, fuck, this log used to be a tree. This is my reasoning, right? The log used to be a tree. That tree died. Now this log is dying. This log is losing all of its stuff, and we're like, this log is literally burning to give us heat, to provide us heat, and no one's paying attention. And so I sit down in front of the log, and I look at it, and I'm like, dude, it's you and me. I'm here with you. Like, I'll be here with you while you, like thank you for providing heat. I'll be here with you. And so I just sat there, just loving on this log, So, but however, so I did for a long time. I kept loving on this log. But however, I still had a beer, so I drink my beer, and every now and again my beer would run out, and someone would walk by and be like, "Oh, Mike, do you want me to get you a beer?" And I'd be like. I just, yeah, thanks, man. And they would go, yeah, I know, yeah. And they'd go and they'd bring me another beer. And so I, for whatever reason, I always had a fresh beer. So I had to pee. So there's no like this. So I would get up and I gotta pee. So I go to the bathroom, and I'd open the bathroom, and I'd put up the lid, of course, to pee. And the lid had little angular like dividers that kept it from actually hitting the toilet seat. So these little, and they looked like little kind of like Chinese eyes. And so the toilet looked like a mouth going, with these eyes right there. And I'm like, motherfucking toilet. Like, all we do, we just pee in you, the spacers. Yeah. We just pee in you all the time. And no one even realizes that like what you do for us. And I fucking love you, toilet. I fucking love you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking my pee. Thank you. And so I'm loving on the toilet, and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go. And so I'd walk out, and I'd go, and I'm like, oh yeah, the fire. Shit. I'm so sorry. So I'd sit down back in front of the log, and I'm like, I'm with you, log, but of course, what would happen is people would, of course, replace, like the logs would run out, so they'd replace the other log. And I'm like, oh shit, like other log. I'm here with you, brother. And so I'd sit there, and I just love on the other log. Oh, fucking log, I'm with you right there. And then people would keep bringing me beers, and then I'd be like, oh, I need to pee, and I go back, and I'm like, oh, toilet, I fucking love you. Toilet, I can't believe. And so This goes on for like 9 hours. I'm tripping my fucking, and that's the great thing about that's the great thing about my like there's the me that's talking to you right now. I knew I was fucking tripping balls, but the me and I knew I was making weird decisions and I was loving things that I probably should not have loved. Like I knew there was a part of me that was like, you're loving on a log, but even so, the love I felt was legitimate, like genuine. Like and even so, like of course, I was like, but hey, Red, how you doing, man? So the love I felt was legit, but yeah, but the me that was here was still here. I was still in charge. I was definitely way in the backseat, driving now a very drunken machine, but a very fucked up machine. But I was still in charge. So, which is what I lose. Which is what I lose when I'm on weed. Like for whatever reason, weed just like it takes me, the me that's talking to you, and just sends them away, and then lets Mike TV do whatever the fuck he wants to. So it's really crazy. Hey, thank you for the follow, Red. So I just kept going back and forth for like 9 hours, and so at some point in time, so now it's like 4 a.m, and so only the diehard partiers are still around. You know, of course the girls who took a Capita STEM are still sitting on the fucking couch, tripping balls, watching, like they're tripping out, just watching fucking movies. Like at some point in time, they were watching The Dark Crystal. They were watching The Dark Crystal, and there was there's like a waterfall or something, and Karen goes, "Oh look, puppet water," and then both girls, "Oh look, puppet water," and both girls just fucking like start just dying laughing, cracking up forever. And so I don't know how I heard that. Like in my memory, I conflate that story with me. Like I conflate me remembering laughing at that joke, but they were in the next room. So I'm fairly certain they just told me about that story, and then I've since built it into my story. But regardless, puppet water is still a joke that we will say to each other every now and again. Hey, puppet water, and it always elicits a laugh. So here I am. So here I'm sitting in front of the fire. And now my friends are like, Mike's been in front of this fucking fire for like 9 hours. He hasn't said a word to anybody. And and occasionally people would walk up to me and be like, Mike, are you okay? Even people, of course, like my beers were always getting replenished. So and when they bring me a beer, like, are you all right? I wouldn't say a word. I would just nod, you know. So because at this point in time, I was tripping balls to the point I did not know how to speak English. I could not make words operate for me. So, but I mean, my own internal dialogue was totally fine. I was loving on the log, and I was loving the toilet, and that was my whole universe. The log in parentheses, the logs, and yeah. It really, semaphores. It was a really beautiful moment because I was just fucking loving these logs were providing me warmth. And they were sacrificing themselves for the whole party. And I saw that. And I was the only one that saw that. And I was like, hey man, I'll be with you. I got your back, you know? And then the toilet. And I was like, everybody's pissing in you and everybody's in, like, but no one's seen you and I'm seeing you. I'm with you. I'm right there. And so it was just this crazy love fest with things that did not feel, I mean, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so my friends keep walking up, oh, thank you, Random Hero Canadian. Yeah. And so my friends walk up to me and like they keep trying to engage me in conversation, and I'm just not able to speak the English language, you know. So they start getting amen, favorite. So they start getting more and more scared, right? So they eventually go up to my friend, the host of the party, who gave me the shrooms. That's all Toilety, my old buddy Toilety. So they go to my friend, the host of the party, and they're like, Mike's been in front of that fire for like 9 hours, and we're starting to worry about him. Do you think you could just go talk to him and see if he's okay? So yeah. Oh, thank. Yeah. That's exactly right. Right. Yeah, no, and it really was like I saw that like this was their last time on the earth as logs, and I was like, I've got your back, man. Like I will be with you. I'll be with you as you go away. Like I'm here. I'm holding your hand, you know. So my friend walks up to me, and I do have to say, she's one of those people, like, people that just with like really kind eyes, like those people that just like look at you and you feel like you're like, yeah, you see me, you're like when she laughs, it's just a genuine laugh. It's not like should I be laughing or was I laughing for the wrong reason? It's just like she was just one of those people that was just genuinely awesome. So she walks up to me and she comes up to me. So I'm on the floor, right in front of the fireplace like this, just fucking digging on the log. And she walks up to me and she like kind of does this like, and she like kind of looks at me and she has this like beatific smile, it's just like, it's like very like, which is always her like modality of being just loving. And she looks at me and she's like, Mike, are you okay? And I look at her and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And she goes, is there anything you need? And I go, mm-mm. And she looks at me and she's like, can you speak? And I think about it and I go, mm. And she looks at me and she goes, apple cart. Like just out of the blue, she looks at me and smiles and she says, apple cart. And this is me thanking you for entertaining me and everyone here. I can't financially, but in spirit. Oh no, amen. Thank you so much, G Master Pro. And just you being here and hanging out is all I ask, dude. Thank you, brother. You have a great night, man. So she says apple cart, right? Like it's a non sequitur. It's out of the fucking blue. Just the word apple cart. But it was such a wholesome word. It was such a word that like I was not expecting to come out of her mouth. And it was such a wholesome, like there's no evil in the word apple cart ever. Like you could have bad apples, but apple cart, like, so she says, she looks at me and she just smiles and she goes, apple cart. And I go, Yes, apple cart. How did you know apple cart? So an apple cart is like something you like a cart that you put apples in. You're collecting apples from the trees. You put them in an apple cart and you roll them over to like wherever you're gonna dump the apples out. Like so, it was such a non sequitur, but it was such a wholesome non sequitur. And I just looked at her. I go, yes. Apple cart. How did you think of apple cart? And she's like, I don't know. Just seemed like the word to say. And I was like, apple cart. Oh my God. So I get up and I'm like this, yeah. And it totally did. I'm like, this is so great. So I walk into the kitchen where like literally the last stragglers, my friends are still on the couch, but I walk in and they're all in the kitchen. I go, hey guys, apple cart. Like, Mike, you're okay. I'm like, yeah, dude, apparently apple cart is the thing that unlocks my speech, So I literally went from non-verbal to like back to my normal like hyper-verbal self in like the instant with the word apple cart. So I was always curious if she said that as a release before. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so, K9. I really don't. Because my mind picks up on those kinds of like patterns, And I just think it was such a non sequitur, and because it was like I could tell she was trying to be genuinely concerned for me. I could tell that she was like she is still to this day. We haven't hung out in like 10 years, but she still is to this day one of my favorite people on the planet Earth. She was just kind and loving and friendly and fun and just laughed genuinely. Yeah, amen. And maybe that might be the case. But the thing is, but she said it just came to her. She just looked at me. It just came to her. Hey, Eva Champion, how you doing? It just came to her. She said it, and I was like, motherfucker. That was so crazy, No, some of so I think he was talking about like a release, like as a triggered thing, So like hypnosis kind of thing, like that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think at all. What were you talking about on Discord early? My post on Discord today, Eva, about NSFW stuff on Discord. I was talking about on Discord NSFW. I don't the show NSFW. Was I talking about? Yeah, no. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, no. I was just joking. It was just a joke. I was just saying that I'm not doing a music stream. I'm going to be doing a talking stream and bring whatever. Yeah. And the porn abuse. And That's all that. It's all a joke. It's all a joke. Everything that comes out of my mouth is all a joke. Even this. But anyway, so that's the apple cart story. It was fucking awesome. And I went in and then, and ran across my friends, and they had a fucking great time on a cap and a stem. I was like, all right, well, that's fucking awesome. Don't even worry. I can eat I'll eat all the rest. So yeah, I've never once had a bad time on shrooms. Like never once. Like, and it's funny because, and then I definitely have had friends that were losing their minds. And I was like, hey, dude, hey, look at this. I'm like, so, oh, hey, thank you, Keenan. Right on, man. That's awesome. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. That's really brilliant. All right. So what do we do? What are we talking about next? Oh yeah, porn abuse, right? Yeah, we can talk about porn abuse. Can I just say that porn loses its like, I have about 15 minutes of porn watching before all porn, no matter what it is, loses it's like its appeal. I mean, not its appeal. It still titillates, but it doesn't titillate me enough to actually do anything about it. So if I've got 15 minutes from the moment I start looking at porn to the 15-minute mark, where then I will just be in a rabbit hole and I'll just keep going down and looking for crazier and weirder stuff, and I will never ever hit a point where I'll be like, this is amazing. Like I will literally have to end up having to walk away and be like, all right, fuck it, I can't do it. Yeah. So I know. Yeah, and it does. So for me, it's like I got 15 minutes. So I have to. So if I'm going to engage with porn, I have to think about like, all right, well, what do I want to look at? What do I think is going to turn me on? And then I have to find, and then I have to hop in and find the exact thing I'm looking for at the exact moment. And then because it is. And then if it goes longer, then I'm just fucked. Because it'll be like 3 hours, and I'll be looking for the fucking perfect, or on my computer looking for the perfect thing, and I'm not finding it. And I'm just looking for it, and I'm like, yeah, it's not good. It's yeah. I can't hit my vape or cigarette or hell cigar. That's awesome, Red. Right on, man. I get turned on by the strangest thing. Yeah, no, and that's amen. And that's so me too. 7-4. So it's really funny. So for me, amen. And I can't. And that thing is, and I don't have the mental stamina. Oh no, don't even sweat it, Eva. I don't have the mental stamina to pursue whatever the good stuff might be, So I have a handful of different things that I like that I know I can go and like I've got a 30% chance of finding something that might titillate me. Otherwise I'm fucked, So yeah, it's really funny. And when I'm in an actual relationship, I usually try to avoid porn altogether. Well, also first off, I'm very sexual, so things like I like if I could have sex every day, if we can figure it out in our schedules, I would have sex every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Sure, I totally sign me up. So that's really exciting for me. So I have to step away from porn when I'm in a relationship, because the thing is otherwise it totally fucking derails the sync of my brain. Like I can't introduce other thoughts, but I've just spent the past until just recently, I've spent the past like year completely by myself, and so I was getting, that's how I have a good understanding of my porn habits, because that's what I was using to like turn myself on. And it's pretty difficult. It's like hate fucking, but yeah, amen. And that's, with that mentality, don't get married. Yeah, no, I mean, well, so things, so for me, oh yeah. So no, certainly I do get that, random hero, and that is, I mean, yeah, that's, I mean, I hope at some point in time in my life to get married. Kids might be like, I'm 47 years old. I don't know if I want to bring a child into the world with a dad that's 47. Like when he's 20, I'll be 67. I'll be the age of his friends' grandfathers. I don't know about that, but yeah. Amen. Right. Wicked truth. Like the thing is like that for me is my whole, porn makes you go all mechanical. Yeah, no, amen. And the thing is like, so for me, and you're right. So for me, I do like to, I have prostate issues. Like I basically have an enlarged prostate. I'm probably, this is too much information, but fuck it. So it's not like terrible, but the thing is, so for me, if getting release every day makes just urinating easier. It's not pronounced and that's not terrible, but it just makes it easier. So the thing is, usually I'm fine, and particularly now I'm fine, but there has been periods in my life where porn was a critical and a necessary part of just me being able to go about my day without issue, not because it's bad, but because I'm having the time, or because having the time of being on the same page, not being too tired, connecting. Oh yeah, amen. No, and that's in fact that's for me. In fact, that's, man. I've my whole life I've been wanting to find someone that's interested in having in evolving with me and falling in love with each other every single day, right? Like I wake up and I go, hey, who are you? Who are you today? How have you changed since yesterday when we were hanging out? Like the thing is, my whole life has been about that, and for whatever reason, I do think that I chose over the up until 40 something. I think I chose people that were constitutionally incapable of really being able to be that for me. I think that my taste in people, I love them. I still love them. They're amazing people. They're scintillating, dazzling people, and they're also kind and loving. But they're also a lot of damage, and there were red flags right from the outset that I thought I could ameliorate, but yeah. So thank you, Eva. Thank you very kindly. Too tired is the bane of my sex drive being higher. Yeah. So, and it's really funny. The thing is so yeah. So for me, so that because I've had to deal with that in my life, and I've been the person that's been too tired, and I've also been with somebody that was too tired. So that's the thing. So I'm not a big fan of red flags anymore. I like to talk about them. I like to talk about them and be like, hey, hey, so these are the things so for me, the main red flag. So the main red flags for me that I've experienced in most of my life is people conveying to me that I have to sell them on the fact that I'm special or important, or that I'm worthy of prioritizing over other things in their life, when they have a choice of oh, I'm gonna go hang out with this friend I haven't seen in 12 years. Not even 12 years. I'm hanging out with this friend that I haven't seen in a few months. That I don't really like. I don't really like this person, but I have to go hang out. I'm gonna go hang out with them, or I can hang out with you, and I'm gonna choose that person. There was, and that's probably not even the best. I can't really come up with a great example, but I constantly felt in all of my significant relationships that early on, and so that worked fine for me, because I was like, all right, well, I'll prove to you that I'm fucking, that I can overpower that bullshit. I'll prove to you that I'm more important than that bullshit. It was a nice challenge. But the thing is, and I eventually got there. But the thing is that impulse of them back then, that impulse did not fully leave. And so when things started to go bad, that impulse showed up, and I still so I had to deprogram. I had to be like, okay, if you're trying to tell me right out the gate that I'm not right for you, that I'm not the person that you really want, then I don't want you. I can't be that for you. I'm not going to fucking try to step up to whatever weird metric that you're looking for. The thing is that was my thing. I would contort myself to fit a metric temporarily to keep them holding on, because the thing is when my dad left when I was 9, and my mom didn't know how to raise a boy. And so when my dad left, my parents were gone. I mean, not entirely, but my mom was a disciplinarian. It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, there were huge swaths, because she felt that because she wasn't a man, she couldn't give me the things I needed growing up. And so she just didn't. And she tried to find surrogates, but the surrogates she found were fucking terrible, shitty people. And so it was just, so I just lost both parents, So anyway, so are those red flags a problem with them or a problem with yourself? No, of course, no. I mean, so certainly. Well, so for me, I'm always about communication. First off, communication. Second off is like making an active effort to improve, right? So the thing is like so I would find myself in a situation where I wasn't getting that level of reciprocation. So I'd be like, okay, we would figure out a course of action or plan of action. And actually, that's not so. For whatever reason, I was really good, and I've been really good at least except for my very first long-term relationship. It was for 5 years. From I was 21, she was 19. I ended up at 26 and she was 24. So and that relationship was just we were kids. We had no fucking clue what we were doing. We were just rolling the dice. Let's see what happens. I'm talking about red flags like addictions and pathological lying and that was exactly it. Like 9 to 12. So addictions were in my 2 other subsequent long-term relationships. Addiction was both a part of it. Pathological lying was a part of it for portions of the relationship. Like once they started engaging in the dangerous and negative behaviors, they started lying about it in a way that I knew something was amiss, but I couldn't identify it. And I figured because we had so much time together where it was honest and it was healthy and it was great, I figured, oh yeah, this can't be it. And I literally had to have friends of mine go, dude, she's fucking drinking. She's she's doing like I'd have people like literally walk up to me like smack, look. And I was like, really? So yeah. Yeah, and Lenina and I fucking adore. I adore the two of you. The thing is and the way it's really funny. Like there's never been a bigger argument for me that there is some divine hand in all of this stuff than Bluefront and the Lenina. Like the thing is like they have. Like they are their own individuals. They both have their own taste and they both have their own thing. But the thing is like, but there is and it's very really funny because it's palpable. They celebrate each other in really awesome ways. Like the things that, and I'm sorry if I'm speaking out of turn, Lenina, but this is what I see, and I do have to say this because I've encountered 3 or 4 couples in my entire life that have the kind of relationship that you and Blue have, and it's always been awesome. So and of course, and that's exactly it. So there's a level of excitement when one of them does something awesome, like the other is like, oh my God, isn't this great? Like there's this, and they've been, how long, and you guys have been together since high school, and there's still that level of this joyful exuberance. Like that's sorry. So it's really funny. So that's my newest my newest mantra is like joyful exuberance, right? So being filled with joy is one thing, right? So I'm joyful. That's an amazing thing. But being exuberantly joyful is you share it. Like you're like, I can't contain this. The joy is fucking like, and for me, like, that's the way I want my whole life to be forever and always. I just want joyful exuberance forever and always, And so that's and you can see it, in Blue and Lena, the way that they interact, and occasionally they'll be like anyway. And we've hung out in person a handful of times, and as we're hanging out and like shooting the shit and like whatever, the thing is like they'll be telling a story and there's just an equal levels of joyful excitement about like whatever it is they're talking about, and I'm like, it's just awesome. So that is that, and I've another couple friend of mine, Michael and Michelle in LA. They have that kind of relationship. And I have other friends that get closer, like obviously my friend Rick and Karen, they've got that kind of relationship. They're not, the thing is it, but it's not, they definitely have that kind of relationship. But anyway, so Me producing my husband's live stream during this shutdown has been, oh yeah. See, that's. And so how, and say, Dr. String her finger. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for the host, man. I'm a little bit drunk and we're all talking and we're all like, so anyway. So that is beautiful. I found my joy in meditation, among other things. Exuberance just isn't in my wheelhouse. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, and that's. So yeah, and that's it's really funny because I straddle the line between extrovert and introvert. So even when I really get replenished, my batteries get recharged by being alone. I still really desperately need to just be around people and just be like, if not a life of the party, just be like an active participant in the party, you know, like somebody making significant contributions to whatever's happening in the party. So the thing is that for me, that which is exuberance, like that for me is why I lean towards the joyful exuberance. Like the thing is, like I'm 100% certain there are probably people on the planet Earth that don't need that. They're totally comfortable with being like, yeah, man, like things are awesome and things are great, and I don't need to share with anybody. I'm totally fine with it. You know, like, but for me, like the thing is like it turns me on to be like, this is amazing. Is this not amazing? Is this not the greatest time in our lives? It's not like, I love doing that. Like, that's my favorite thing, you know? So yeah. So, so how was your stream, Dr. Stringer Finger? That's awesome. How was your stream? I've not yet caught your stream. What kind of thing do you do? And again, so I'm normally a music streamer. My voice, I've been singing nonstop since 2 weeks ago, Friday. So my voice is kind of trammeled. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but like I can't say, that's my falsetto. That's my go-to falsetto note to see if I can sing properly. Ooh, that's the note. So I'm just going to hang out. I was like, all right, but I still want to stream. So I was like, I'll just fucking hang out and chat, you know, talk about stuff. So, no, well, hey, that's good on you, Wicked Truth. I mean, that's, of course, listen to that inner voice, right? I've been missing a few things in life. This might be one of them. This is my, oh yeah, of course. I mean, well, yeah. And thank you, Kanon. Thank you kindly, man. And I do have a lot of them. I do. In fact, that's one of the things. So the girl I've been hanging out with lately, I'm like, you do know that like if we integrate our lives together, the thing is like I seek story. Like I'm a risk taker. I'm not a risk taker in the sense that like I put my life and my body at risk. I seek adventure. I seek like when someone says, "Hey, Mike, we're thinking about heading to Europe for three months to go tour, and we want you to open for us." I'll be like, all right, let's do it. And what do I do? How do I take my effort and build on that? You know, like, so I definitely do pursue whenever anybody offers me a grand adventure. And I also am always constantly looking for grand adventures. When I find one and I figure out a path to get there, I make a beeline towards it, you know? So I know, Paper Cat. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, so that was the thing. So I was just saying, like, so I was like, hey, so you know, if we like, if things keep going the way they're going, we're gonna integrate our complicated lives. Song I've got. We're gonna integrate our complicated lives, and then you know, you're gonna be with someone that seeks grand adventure, you know. So, Oh, really? Oh, no. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Because Ashley was my, like, so it was Ashley and Will, like at Nerdtacular 2017. We were bosom buddies. And literally, like, we were fucking drunk. I would say we were probably drunk like 80% of the time at the Nerdtacular, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. Yeah, and of course, because Justin's was a Nerdtacular superhero, so he would like, everybody wanted his attention. So she was like, "All right, I don't know what I'm doing," and I'm like, and so we, of course, so Ashley and I were like, "All right, we're taking care of each other. Let's rock and roll." So yeah, it was Will Harris and Ashley and myself, and I definitely do have a lot of Nerdtacular stories, which are a lot of fun as well. But I'm not single, Ava. I can't say that 100%. But the thing is, but my personal dating life is very private right now. It will become very public eventually. But Yeah, me too, Wicked Truth. And I was trying to make plans to get out there, but yeah. I was recently single, and I was single for quite some time, and I had kind of given up. I'd kind of given up on ever being with anybody that like I don't mind. I don't give a fuck about one night stands and dating somebody like just for hookups and that kind of thing and booty calls, like that's fine. But I had given up on substantive relationships. I just given up. I like for the most part, whenever I get with somebody, and they begin to understand the composition of my life and the way I live my life, almost invariably they say, why don't you focus on selling your records rather than making new records? Like, you've got so much music. Why don't you just spend some time focusing on selling what you've got? That's not me. It's not what I do. And that kind of impulse of theirs has never like for whatever reason, like it's, I don't give a fuck about money. I mean, I of course I need it. Of course it allows me to pay my bills and but that's not why I'm on this earth. The thing is, I love music. I love my friends. I love you guys. I love my dog Sue. I love music, and now I'm falling in love with this new girl, and that'll be awesome. But yeah, so yeah, amen, right? Semaphores, and I'm a fucking hedonist. I go where the pleasure is. I love writing songs. I love taking a song I've just written, and I love I've been like, I wrote this song, and have you guys saying, oh, that's a great song. I love that. And then I love taking that song that you guys go, I love that song, and I love to go and do a fucking beautiful studio recording and be like, here's the song in this rendition, and then have
hazelnut.
I'm gonna go pee, you bastard. I'll be back in a second.
Macadamia nut.
Let's go. Yeah, amen. Right, semaphores. Right up.
Going crazy. He said, you stop naming nuts. Pine nut. Pistachio nut. Red pistachio nut. Natural, all natural, white pistachio nut.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
No, it's just the end of the first chorus. So it replaced Kick-Ass, because you guys started using Kick-Ass to cover whenever I had to use the bathroom. So there you go. Yeah. So, and we're never gonna stop. And then like the actual song does. All right. So what were we talking about? Do we cover the whole details of the thing we're talking about? So I've got 45 minutes left, and I'm already pretty drunk, and I need to eat some food, and I am definitely slurring my words a little bit. That's pretty awesome. That's kind of weird. How women try to make you change. So how do I start playing guitar, and how women? Yeah. Okay. So all right. So So you're right, semaphores. I don't want to get too deep into that. The thing is I kind of walked away from that. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna, if you don't see me and appreciate me for me, then I can't become anything else. I'm 47 years old. I've been doing this. I've been crafting my life to be the perfect life for me, of course, by myself. So I definitely understand that you and I integrating our lives together, I have to make some changes. But the thing is, even so, I can't do substantive changes to the way I live my life, particularly my career, So, what What's your yeah? Which is really funny. All right, so I will answer your question in just a second, K9. But I don't have favorites of anything. Paradox Illusionist. I have there's too many. Like if I said blue, right? Does that mean all 20,000 shades of blue? Am I saying that I love all of these shades of blue, or am I saying there's this very specific, like whatever the hashtag code FF00, like whatever of blue, you know? So for me, blue. Yeah. So for me, so there are lots of colors I love. I love vibrant colors, except when I don't. So, but I love Sue. Sue is losing his mind. Buddy, do you need to go out? Do you need to go pee? Come here. Come on. Come here. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Okay. All right. So Sue, my puppy. So do you love every shade of purple, Ava Champion? Like that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when someone says, "What's your favorite?" Like so when you say what's your favorite song? Like can you really like? Can you decide like oh I love this I love this sad ballad, and I love this upbeat pop song, and you're gonna say that you're gonna choose between them, like what they do, like how do they elevate your spirit? Like I can't do that. Like I can't decide. I can't. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, Random Hero. Yeah, it was. Thank you. Real pleasure to make your acquaintance as well. You have a great night. So for me, like I believe that making decisions like that, this is my favorite of something, means that you eliminate so many other things. So I have favorites. I have a huge number one bag, with which I throw all the things I love into, and that's my favorite of everything. And so I can tell you that the Archers of Loaf first record, Weapon Front, Icky Metal, that's my favorite record. But also, so is Pavement Slanted and Enchanted. But also, really truthfully, my favorite record is all of my stuff, most especially Hesitation Cuts. And they're all my favorite records. My favorite record is basically everything by the Pixies. That's my favorite record, alongside all the others I just mentioned. So that's the way it works for me, you know. So, yes, and you're totally, yeah. Dogs are amazing people, and I am ignoring my dog, but I don't think he needs to poop or pee. I think he just wants to go out because he wants to. Yeah, and so for me, Semaphore is like that thing is like, so I love Nirvana, but I also love Mudhoney. I also love Mudhoney. Like just in that era of bands, I also love Jane's Addiction. I also love just from that era, I also love I love the Pixies, that same time frame. I love trying to think. I love Guided by Voices. Yeah. So Guided by Voices. Well, no, they their first one, which is not like B1000, which came out I think in '93 was, or maybe it was '91, '93. Anyway. Oh yeah. Get Set Go. They're fucking assholes though, man. Like the things like, I mean, yeah. They're fucking dicks. They're drunk dicks. Trust me. I know. I got an inside track on that. I can give you. So yeah. So you're doing you're shooting a short movie. Oh yeah, Anal Worm. I do love Anal Worm. That's great, Ava Champion. What are you doing? It'll be your fourth short film. Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's great. Well, when it's available, if it's on a place we can stream it, you have to let us know. Please do. Oh, that's great. Oh, of course. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, please do. All right. So what do we? And can I get a sense of? Does anybody know? Is W Scottus 1 up and running? I'm not saying I need to stop right now, but I am saying like I'm getting pretty drunk, and I do need to eat some food, and so I just want to know if I do have to abort at any point in time. So I've been doing this 3.5 hours is not bad, right? Like me standing up here, hanging out, talking with you guys. Okay, great. Okay, cool. So if I have to abort, if I have to abort, then we've got a great place we can take everybody. So, yeah, amen. Yeah, right. Amen. 7-4 is awesome, man. Me too. Yeah, I might try to turn this into a semi-regular thing. My voice, for whatever reason, I think I might have like pleurisy or something in that vein. I need to go see a doctor at some point. My throat has been feeling weird and my lungs have been feeling a little bit weird. Not like COVID crazy. Like I'm not, but I just been, just a little, not even painful, just a little bit of discomfort when I take a full breath. And when I take a full breath, it feels like I was a non-smoker. And you're right. And it could be that, Lenina. But however, and you're totally right. And it could be that. And I do think that it might be that. But I don't. And it could be that COVID was the thing that made me pay extra attention to the way my lungs feel. So it could be that I've experienced this intermittently since I got here. No, because there's not a lot of pollution in Austin semaphores, but and maybe it is. But anyway, so I don't know. But the thing is but I know that I don't have any other symptoms. I'm not unhealthy. But there is a ton of cedar pollen. There really is. And the thing is, it's like, yeah. So anyway, so I just don't know, but I do know that when I take a deep breath like that at the apex of the breath, it hurts a little bit, So I just like, not in a painful way, just a little bit of discomfort, So. Yeah, right. Yeah. Thank you, Wicked Truth. Yeah, and I do, and it is crazy. Like I do have 1,000 stories. Did I tell you guys the Rodney Dangerfield stories? Have I told you guys that one? I'm trying to figure out like stories. I've got so many. But I do have some that are just fucking amazing, like absolutely amazing. That like had profound impacts on my life. And trust me on that. I didn't have pain. Just was losing my voice, but. Oh, okay. And I do a lot of dad jokes. I certainly do. I mean, low hanging fruit, right? I like to yeah, there's low hanging fruit. Here we go. Oh yes. No, you're right. Right, yeah. So I do have an amazing Rodney Dangerfield. All right. So if you guys haven't heard it, I'll tell it to you. So all right. So I was working as a development executive. Oh, hey, Sovereign Bohemian. Yeah. And I did, that DUI in LA was fucking awesome. And I can't believe that the people in the drunk tank did not fucking go for I was going to prank the fucking police. We were going to prank the fucking police. And I couldn't, I wanted us to prank the police. They wouldn't do it. But all right. So but here, my Rodney Dangerfield story. This is fucking awesome. So I was a development executive working for Universal Cartoon Studios, right? So we were the cartoon division of Universal. We actually not me. I had nothing to do with it, but our division, we were a 14-person like executive division. We literally created the direct-to-video. We literally created the direct-to-video business by doing Land Before Time direct-to-video movies. So the original direct-to-videos. So in the early 90s, 1990, 1991, 1992, yes, I did Eva. So I started off as a writer. I'm still pretty drunk, so I started off as a writer. And I eventually migrated into a development executive. Now right on, man. So the way a development executive works is like, so someone goes, so this is like, think about the idea of like someone coming up with an idea for a television show. So someone goes, oh my God, be a great idea for a show is what if we were to do like all the planets in the solar system were populated and it was a big war between, so someone has an idea and they come to us and they say, hey, I've got this idea for a show. And if we go, and if we as development executives, if we go, that's a great idea for a show, we will then buy that idea and then we will turn it into we would develop it. So what you do is first you start with a show Bible, right? So show Bible is here's the premise of the show. Here are all the characters in the show. This is the way the show is going to work. This is the way it's going to look, or this is the way it's going to operate. Here are some story premises to give you an idea. So it's a sales document to sell to networks or to sell to whoever can broadcast. Now Netflix and now Amazon. Like there's a lot of people that can actually produce shows, but you go, hey, here's the document that's going to tell you what the show is going to be, and then you come up with art, and you attach actors, or you attach writers, or you attach whoever you can to sweeten the package, and then you bring it to whomever can make whomever has money and a vehicle to actually deliver the show, and you go, hey, here's our package. Would you like to buy it? So that was me. I was the lowest ranked development person at Universal Cartoon Studios from 1992 to 1996. So, So I was involved, and the president of the division, a fellow by the name of Jeff Siegel. You should look him up. He's fucking awesome. He was the head of creative for Hanna-Barbera. So I literally had lunch. I had lunch multiple times over the course of my life with Joe Barbera and Bill Hanna-Barbera multiple times over the course of my life because of Jeff. I literally met Jeff. So Jeff. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. And 9 to 12. Thank you. I mean, I don't have money for. I can't go visit a doctor. I haven't seen a doctor in 20 years. I don't have the funds to go see a doctor. I'm not going to go see a doctor. Fuck doctors. I'm 100% certain if they start poking around, if they start poking around, they're going to discover all sorts of shit that's wrong with me. That's going to really freak me out, and then I'm going to get depressed, and then that's going to exacerbate whatever's wrong. I'm going to survive until I die. That's fine. So, all right. So, no. For 9 to 12. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So Jeff, like literally, and Jeff also said to me, like literally when I was a college intern working for them, although I wasn't actually in college, but I was between high school and college. Jeff was like, Mike, whatever you want to do, like if you have access to our files, just dig in, whatever you want to do, just let me know. Like you just figure out what you want to do in this gig. So I took him at his word, and I went full tilt. And we were working on a show called Exo Squad. If you've never seen Exo Squad, it is an epic and a fucking amazing science fiction show. If you like science fiction, and if you like animation, even if you don't like animation, but if you like science fiction television shows, I think you can find all of Exo Squad. We did 2 seasons. One was 13 episodes, and the second was 65 episodes because it was a strip. There's a lot of episodes. It was just an epic show. So Jeff says, hey man, so we're working on this new show called Extra Squad. If you have any ideas, let me know. And I've been taking notes. Like as I was reading the show Bibles and reading all the material as it was being made, I kept finding ways to improve on it that I thought I could improve on it. And he asked me, and I was like, yeah, I've got all these notes. And he incorporated a good 20% of my notes into the show Bible at that moment. And I was like, yeah, and it can be found on YouTube. That's exactly right, Tim Forrest. It's a fucking great show. I actually have a credit. If you'll see Michael Torres, when you see Developed By, that was me. I created, if you watch the show in its entirety, the entire Mars Resistance, every character, Sean Napier, Peter E. Tanaka, all of those people, they were, not only did I create those characters, they're all based off of my friends. I had a role playing group in high school. Every single character's name is my friends' characters from us, our role playing group in high school. So that was my little homage to those guys. I was like, yeah. So all of those characters, my personal character was Peter E. Tanaka, yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's anyways, yeah. So it's really it's a little secret. Like I don't talk about that much, but yeah, it's super cool. And it's a fucking amazing show. It's a really, really amazing show. I recommend. I mean, yeah, I recommend just checking out. It's fucking super. It's a really, really cool show. So anyway, so all right. So now back to Riding Dangerfield. So every time we met with some like big deal celebrity, we would Jeff would bring all. So there were 5 development executives. There There was Jeff Siegel, who was the president of the division. Our senior VP was Susie Peterson. Then our next VP was Ralph Sanchez, and then there was a director of development that was Jonathan Rosenthal. And then I started as a manager of development, and eventually became an associate director of development. So that was our entire development staff. So there were 5 of us. So we would always go whenever we met anybody of import, and so which was great because I met and hung out with and shot the shit. And of course, me, like I like to talk, so I was gregarious and I like to make people laugh. So so Rodney Dangerfield. So we're all hanging out, and we're pitching a show to Rodney. We want him. So Jeff worked with Rodney. So Hanna-Barbera produced, I think, 2 movies with Rodney Dangerfield. So Jeff and Rodney already had a decent relationship. So Rodney shows up, and so Rodney shows up, and he's like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" Like he's literally like behaving like Rodney Dangerfield. "Hey, how you doing? Hey, that's good to see you." And he's like, and so we're about to sit down. He's like, "Hey, do you guys mind if I make myself comfortable?" And we're like, "No, sure." And he's like, "Okay." And he just undoes his pants and lets his gut out, and then sits down. I'm like, that is fucking awesome. Of course, Rodney Dangerfield, of course. And so he sits down, and he's like, "Oh, this is great." So he sits down. So, and we're all talking about the show that we want to sell him. I don't want to get into details because I don't own the show. So it was a Jeff created idea. But we're selling him on this idea for a show. And I'm throwing my 2 cents in, and my 2 cents are always a little bit edgier than like Jeff. The great thing about Jeff was he had a really perfect perspective on this is what's going to sell, and this is how we sell it. But I was a kid, so I was like, but this will be really ridiculously funny and ridiculously edgy, like whatever I was thinking at the time. So I kept throwing out these ideas that were getting shot down by the rest of everybody. And so at some point in time, Rodney looks at me. He goes, "You know what?" He goes, "You know why great shows do not happen on television anymore?" And I'm like he looks at me I mean but he turns to me, like, so we're all talking. He's kind of being engaged by everybody else, and he turns to me and he goes, "You know why great shows don't get made in television anymore?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, because guess what? He's like, think, what's the first thing that goes through an executive's head the moment they wake up in the morning? And I go, "I don't know." And he goes, "I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my job." And I was like, "You're totally fucking right, man. You're right." Like things like, yeah, like that's the thing is like you in order to make amazing shit, you have to take risks. You have to be bold. And I was like, "Motherfucker." And so, yeah. And like literally, yeah, I know. And I literally, that is like from that moment, like that has been how I've lived my life. This like I'm like, no, like things like, yeah, no, like, yeah, like what's the almost famous quote? It's a Gerda quote or be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid. I think it's something like that. But that was like, I was a fucking, yes, that's exactly right. Human Centipede. Yeah. If they just had a little bit more balls, those Fox executives, this Human Centipede would have been a fucking successful children's series. We would never, because the books were so great, right? Semaphores. The book was great. They fucked up the movie. Like if they'd done it as a 10-part animated miniseries, it would have been fucking perfect. But they fucked up the movie. So yeah, man. So that was the Rodney, and it was so great. So he like literally, and then he goes back. That's a legit problem with many movies and TV shows. So though they get great ideas thrown away because they might no, I mean, yeah, no, of course, and that's the thing is like, yeah, paper cat. Yes, Human Centipede was entirely about competitive eating. Oh my god. Yeah, amen. Right on, Sovereign Bohemian. Yeah, and it really was, but it was so funny because he was jokey all the way through and kind of yada, and he wasn't He wasn't really super engaged. Like he really, oh no, I mean, he and Jeff had a good rapport, and they were like cracking jokes and what have you. But the thing is but he wasn't like super engaged with what we were talking about. But and then he just turned to me like out of the blue, like it was like literally like a side jag that just involved all of us. And he just looked at me, and I was like. And I was like, motherfucker, you're totally right. And he was like, yeah, you're right. Being afraid to lose your job means you're not going to be like bold. You're going to be like, all right, how many, and the thing about film and TV is you have 30 bosses. You have 30 people you have to sell on everything you have to do. So the thing is, so what I learned was I come up with some crazy idea. This is the idea I want to sell. I come up with a crazy idea over here, and I offer them both. Hey, these are two ideas we got. And they're never my ideas. Oh, we got these crazy ideas. What do you think about this one? And what do you think about this one? And almost invariably they'd be like, the second one's the one I wanted to sell. They're like, this one, I think this is the one we go with. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah. So, yeah. No, and that's not show some force. It's really not. In fact, my coworkers, all of them, Susie, Ralph, Jonathan, they all went on to do amazing things. They're real fun. Like they were pros. It's really funny. At that point in time in my life, they were all mentors. Each of them had things to teach me that I still to this day carry with me. Ralph taught me about subtext. Susie actually really taught me about being pragmatic. So Susie was a female development executive in the early 90s. She was a female, like, so she actually did dual roles. She actually was with a film, like with the home video department. So she was the linchpin behind all the Land Before Time sequels. So it was Louis Fiola who was the head of the film and TV department, or the home video department at that point in time. So Louis Fiola and Jeff, they got together along with Susie, and they came up with the idea of let's make movies and let's fuck the theaters. Let's make movies and we'll sell them just straight out of stores. We'll just plug them in. We'll be like, and what do we start with? The hit Land Before Time, because Steven Spielberg is totally up for it. So let's do it. And so they did it. And it was a fucking wild, ridiculous success. And they continued to do that over and over and over again, and literally created the direct-to-video world. Like I actually had some friends in a band called Straight to Video that were friends with Elliott Smith. So Elliott Smith shows up at one of my shows. Elliott Smith shows up at one of my shows. There's 20 people in the room. Elliott Smith is one of them, and they were there. And he was there because they were friends with a band called Straight to Video. And I was like, Straight to Video, I fucking love it, man. I actually know the guys that invented that business. And they're like, whatever, dude. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You're like, fine, Odelay. I was like, no, it's so crazy. It's so weird. My life, like TSR. So anyway, my life is fucking nuts. TSR. I'll give you another really weird moment like this. TSR Records was the record label that we signed to. We had Baja TSR Records. So we like they had two imprints, or they had two label names, but it was all the same label. We decided to go with TSR Records. Why did we decide to go with TSR Records? Because TSR was the company that originally created Dungeons and Dragons. I knew and loved TSR my entire life. So TSR tried to put out something called Turbo Tracks. I think it was called Turbo Tracks. It was a choose your own adventure book, but with audio. So rather and what you do is it was a CD. It was a CD that you would put in, and what you do is they'd be like, all right, do you want to do this? Or do you want to do this? It was choose your own adventure. If you want to do this, go to track 42. If you want to do this, go to track 68. And so you'd have to like punch your way through to the next track, like flipping a book. So and the label that whatever with the TSR, I think it was called Turbo Tracks, but it might have been something else. Sue, hold on, bud. Whatever it was called, Turbo Tracks or whatever it was. It wasn't put out on TSR Records. It was TSR posting, and I was like, why is this not out on TSR Records? Like it's TSR, and they're like, there's some tiny label, there's some shitty tiny label in Calabasas that already has that name. That's why we can't put it out on TSR Records. And there was and Lorraine Williams, who like look up Lorraine Williams. She used to own TSR Records. She was a crazy human being. So Oh, of course, Paradox Illusionist. You be well, amigo. Good night. Good night. Sleep well. So Lorraine Williams. So Lorraine Williams, says she's fucking shitting on TSR Records. Well, it turns out that like 10 years later, my first record deal is with TSR Records, and I talked to Tom, and I'm like, Tom, TSR Records. And I tell him the whole story, but of course Tom doesn't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons and gives no fucks. And I'm like, you don't see that you were. Okay, whatever. But yeah, like, of course. Like, all right, whatever. And that was the TX. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't as, I thought it was ridiculous. I was like, oh, that's so great. And Flint Dilley, he was a writer. Flint Dilley, who was Lorraine Williams' brother. Dille, I believe is how you spell his last name. Flint Dilley. He just would not let it go. Like he's like, yeah, he was a nice guy. He was a bit of a bullyish kind of guy, but he was a nice guy. I mean, he was a nice guy with me. All right. So, I think I have to crash out, guys. Sue has been clawing at the door for the past 20 minutes. It's now 9:43. I'm 17 minutes away from my target date. So like, we're going to go raid W Scottus 1. Thank you 1,000 times. Thank you so much for hanging out and being here. I love you guys with all my heart. I really do. And we're gonna go raid game night. And thank you 7-4s. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Pumpkin patch could be more sincere than this one. You can look all around and there's not a sign of hypocrisy. Nothing but sincerity as far as the eye can see.
Elix, I haven't heard that in a long time, man. That's fucking awesome. That's a great dude. I missed that one. That was fucking. I love you guys. I love you with all my heart. I really do. You guys. Thank you, Sovereign Bohemian. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully, I see you again soon. I don't work tomorrow. Thank you, Paper Cat. Thank you, brother. Yeah, me too. And thank you, Eva Champion. Thank you, Sovereign Bohemian. Thank you, Wicked Truth. Thank you. I fucking love you guys. So all right, So I'm not here tomorrow. I'm not here on Sunday, but I am here on Monday, and my hope is to make it like if I can't sing every single night, then I'll do something like this. So yeah. So all right. I love you guys. Be well. Of course, Ava. Yeah, like I'm just super crazy busy right now, but yes. I mean, just keep checking base. Keep touching base. All right, adios. Let's go. One, boom. All right. Beep, 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 boom. I love you guys.
Like
Thank you.
Hazelnut.
That's when I die, Paper Cat. When I die as I put my body into the fucking grave, you're gonna be there with a fucking boombox, clicking play, and playing this goddamn clip, aren't you? Wash your hands. Don't be a racist. Yes, that's the most important message I've heard my entire life. I love you guys. Thank you. Sleep well. Be well.